Solar power can save you big on your monthly electric bill is right there. It's online. Through your phone or through your computer, you can learn about tax credits, the equipment they use, look at how they do things for businesses as well as homeowners, see testimonials from happy customers, and I hear they got a pretty good podcast too. Check it out. Go to harmonsolar.com. That's harmonsolar.com.
Sports betting apps are not created equal. Dylan Cohen from Beat the Book here to talk about the Sport Trade Advantage. With higher payouts, Sport Trade is the ultimate sports betting experience. Sport Trade is the first sports betting app that gives you the option to see the odds expressed as probabilities, and it's changing in-game betting forever. If it's easier to understand 52% probability of winning versus minus 108 odds, then Sport Trade is for you. With this percent odds feature, cashing out now makes much more sense. As the win probability changes, so does the value of your bet. And if you're an experienced bettor and prefer American odds, you'll get pricing closer to minus 106 versus the normal minus 110, coupled with instant in-play betting. No more spinny wheels. So download Sport Trade today to see the difference and beat the book. Use promo code 1580 to earn 10% cash back on every bet you place in your first week. Terms apply.
Sport Trade is regulated by the Arizona Department of Gaming. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
All right, so there we were, cruising through the new open-air zoo when I realized that the park was closing in like 15 minutes. That's when the afternoon took an exciting turn. Luckily, we were in my Nissan Rogue. With its powerful DC turbo engine, well, we had more than enough time to see all the animals. Whoa! And outrun a few!
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Now, Nissan offers 6 vehicles starting under $30,000 MSRP. Shop at your local Nissan store or at nissanusa.com. 2024 Nissan Altima, Kicks, Leaf, Rogue, Sentra, and Versa. All prices are manufacturer's suggested retail price. Manufacturer's suggested retail price excludes destination and handling charges, tax, title, license, and options. Dealer sets actual prices.
With all the school supplies your child will need over the years, it can be easy to overlook the most important one of all, money, which is a good reason to open an AZ 529 education savings plan. Whether you invest $15 or $150 a month, your money grows tax-free. By the time your little one is ready for college, vocational school, or workforce training, they'll have all the savings they need to get the job of their dreams. Visit az529.gov to get started.
This message is sponsored by the Office of the Arizona State Treasurer.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it. All right, everybody, it's Tuesday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. We broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And, hey, Randy was telling me before the show started, it's going to freeze tonight. It's going to be very, very cold, like really cold in the upper 20s in the outlying areas. So, damn.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Oh my God, it's gonna be freezing.
Yeah. I mean, like we're talking. Usually, the coldest temperatures happen at 7 a.m. But for some reason, it's going to be so cold that the freezing temperatures will start just after midnight and last on into the morning. So, if you're covering plants, if you're covering pipes, make sure everything is ready. And by the way, if you park your car outside, there's a few things you don't want to leave in the car. First, your loved ones. Yeah, I mean, that's just should go without. You shouldn't even have to say that.
Right.
No. Yeah. I mean,
pets, senior citizens, they shouldn't be left in the car.
I mean, it happened that one time, and you have to bring it up again. So,
well, it's because of that, Randy, that I have to keep mentioning this.
All right. Yeah. All right.
Granted, she did thaw out, but still, that's not the point. It's dangerous. People can die. Medication. Don't leave medication in your car overnight when it's cold, because some medications like insulin can become unstable if they get too cold. So if you're not sure, when in doubt, toss those things. You know, don't take bad medicine.
Or take them in with you.
medicine.
Yeah.
Take with the what? Huh?
I was just saying, when in doubt, take your medicine with you.
Oh, they're going to say take it with alcohol. Take a shot of
Well,
whiskey.
I mean, there's that, but
Don't leave your electronics in. And I know there's already electronics in the car, but don't leave your electronics like phones, computers, tablets. They don't work too well if they freeze, because what happens is you can get some condensation, even the slightest bit of humidity, and then it freezes. Now all of a sudden you got a ice cube in there, and then when it thaws, the water drips on the components inside, and that ain't great. So
it's not good. Yeah,
could cause a short. Here's what I was surprised about: eggs. Don't leave them in the car if it's gonna, because it freezes and then the shell cracks and then they're not safe to eat anymore.
Then you have eggsicles.
Can't eat them. Don't leave canned food in the car.
Oh, no kidding.
It can make the food inside expand, cause tiny cracks where then bacteria gets in and you get the botulism. Remember? Remember that was happening in the 70s. And the USDA says toss any canned food that swells from freezing, even if it doesn't. Just, if you've forgotten in the car and it froze overnight, get rid of it. And then here's another one. This is going to apply to you, Keon. Keon uses mass amounts of hairspray. Aerosol cans. Don't leave those in the car. They can explode in your car.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So that Aquanet that you have, in the case, take it inside.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's all. I mean, why would you leave it in your car? Why would you leave any of that in your car?
Right. You got to keep it where your hair is.
Take care of my hair in the house.
So anyways, just something to think about since tonight is going to get finally pretty damn cold.
Going to be very cold out there. Yeah, tonight.
888-368-1580. Just the tip says, I work 16 hours a week. Okay. Love to finish reading that text, but the text line, were you having problems with the text line?
A little bit, actually. It was, I had to refresh it a few times and I missed the text because of it. So, yeah, one of them days.
I work 16 hours a week at the Big Blue Home Improvement Store. He means Lowe's. He says, we're going crazy with figuring out ways to not lose thousands of dollars of product. Thank goodness I'm off today. Can I make it a suggestion? You have a giant warehouse. Move some stuff inside.
Yeah, I mean, there's that, but
you're welcome, Lowe's.
I don't, but because of course, if you have a series of workers who maybe work different shifts and stuff, getting the stuff inside and outside logistically, because you have to get it back out so the customers can walk around in the actual aisles.
You don't have to.
If you want to sell things, you do.
It's weather. Well, you're either going to sell it or it's going to be destroyed. So how about I would just bring it in and say, yeah, it's going to be a little crowded in here because we don't want our product to go to waste. That's just me. What do I know?
There's a lot of it though.
Beer Bob says, what? We can't leave eggs in the car.
No.
If you were leaving eggs in the car, you were already living a very unhealthy life.
Yeah, he says, that's why I always store my eggs. Beer Bob is being what we call a smart ass. Navy Brad says, Jeffrey, what executive order will you sign today since you've become emperor? Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. Your votes did not tally up to enough. I am not emperor. Better elect, next time. So Big George says, hello, gentlemen. Hello, George. He says, wow, it's breezy out there. It's going to be close to 80 degrees tomorrow, though, here in Southern California, but also breezy. When will it ever rain again? We don't care, George, about your weather. We don't. We only care about our own weather. So there. Buckeye Steve, who we haven't heard from in like forever, says, how about them Buckeyes? I don't know what you're talking about. We're not talking about college sports today. Mr. Wilbur says, I had Keon pegged as a Vitalis man. I don't even know what Vitalis is.
Me neither.
It's a hairdressing.
Hairdressing, like ranch?
Yeah. Well, yes.
Does it taste like ranch?
No, but back in the day, you would you squeeze it out and you'd put it in your hair.
It's just like hair tonic.
It was it was like a tonic. It was like a hair dressing. Yeah.
But what does it do to your hair?
Mats it down mostly.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt your lunch with the show, Randy, but thank you for that input.
Putting gum in my mouth. Putting gum in my mouth.
Yeah.
No, you sound like Mike McCarthy on the headset.
Well, thank you.
Bullseye says, how about your kids? Is it okay to leave them in the car when it's freezing outside? No, they specifically they started with pets and then kids and then seniors, but I switched it up. So yeah, I wouldn't leave anything you really care about in the car. So depends on, I guess, how much you like your kids. It's really none of my business. Anyway, so just something to think about tonight. Let's move on to the national title. Yes, okay, fine. Buckeye bastards. We'll talk about this. Ohio State, unfortunately, won. I had hope right there at the beginning. Bam, touchdown for Notre Dame. I'm like, ooh. And then they forgot to football. And then they remembered to football. But by the time they remembered to football, it was too late.
Yeah, I mean, they came out with an obvious game plan of how they were going to try and control the clock, play defense by playing offense. If you can keep your offense on the field, I think that first drive was like 9.5 minutes. You can keep your offense on the field and their offense off of it. They can't really hurt you. It just wound up to not matter because Ohio State can score so quickly. Mm-hmm. And, that Will Howard, Jeremiah Smith connection is unbelievable. Like they were able to move up and down the field pretty much at will. And like Notre Dame's defense was good enough. They weren't going to get blown out, but Notre Dame was the inferior team going into this one. And I felt pretty good about taking Ohio State going into it, just because like you look at the talent level and the talent profile of the Buckeyes.
The teams they tore through like tissue paper on their way in,
Yeah. I mean, like for whatever it's worth, Ohio State came from the harder side of the bracket. Notre Dame.
I thought Oregon was going to just take them to task, and nope, other way around.
Yeah, I didn't know if I thought Oregon was going to take them to task, but you beat them once, you can beat them again. Not really. That's not how that went down.
Randy, yesterday I was considering naming my testicles either left one Quinshawn, right one Judkins, or just calling them both my Judkins. And but now after I saw him play, I can't disrespect him like that, even though he is from Ohio State. But 100 yards, 11 carries, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, it
was
a
big monster.
It was big, yeah. And a lot of people are talking about Ohio State moving on, and are they going to be number one preseason next year? I would think so. I mean,
too early to be like, if you're like giving rankings for next year, it's like you don't even know who's on the team yet.
Well, the AP does one last ranking of the year.
No, I get it. And they said that ASU was 7th. I feel like they should be higher than that, but what do I know?
At least one higher, because Georgia was at 6th. And like, if it's going to be the ranking of this year, that Georgia team with Gunnar Stockton forced into playing quarterback, it's not a better team than ASU.
Well, but ASU is new to the party, so maybe that's why they get that disrespect. And
no, that's exactly it.
And I'm looking down the list.
That's exactly it.
At least Arizona's not on there. No, I don't see Arizona on this 25.
If you watched them play football last year, there's no reason to think that
I'm just saying it's a happy day when you Arizona ain't on the list.
And I'm agreeing with you that they weren't even close.
The thing that's interesting to me about college football right now, Georgia, gone. Alabama, gone. SEC, gone. It was Big Ten football, and then you had
Big 12 too.
Big 10 and Big 12, but I'm just saying the SEC wasn't ruling the playoffs as normally as they do. And
and I think that's a little bit to do with, obviously Georgia had the injury to Carson Beck. I mean, surprise arm injury for your starting quarterback. That's going to obviously affect some things.
Hey, Randy, practice this. Carson Beck.
Don't do that to him. No, Beck. Don't do that to him. He hasn't shown that he's anything like Carson Wentz.
We're just gonna be ready, Keon. Ready. We're not going to do it unless we have to.
Don't even practice it. Don't put that evil on that kid. He hasn't done anything yet, and now you're putting Carson Wentz level evil on him? That's crazy. Come on.
I'm not so powerful that my voodoo works like that.
Let him have his career first. And then if he turns into Carson Wentz, well, then you can do it. But I do
get it right. I think you got it.
But I do think
it's different. It's different, but it's still the same.
But I do think that Alabama just took a massive step back, because you will when Nick Saban is your coach, and then he is not your coach. And you could see that with Alabama. They're not going to be the same for a while until they figure out what their head coach situation is. But I will tell you this, they will move swiftly to figure it out. Kalen DeBoer doesn't have a whole lot of time to figure out whatever the hell it is that he's doing at that school.
Yeah, some schools are like that. You've got precious little time. Does it mean it's fair? No, that's college football.
No, it's just the way it is.
Yeah. 888-368-1580. So as you look at the AP Top 25 exit interview poll, everything else seemed to be in order for you. Ohio State on top. Of course, they won. Notre Dame, too. Of course, they were in the game.
They were the runner-up, yeah.
Oregon, Texas, Penn State. Flip or Georgia and Arizona, but what about Boise State, Tennessee, and Indiana? Everything in order as far as you concerned?
I don't think Boise State is better than Tennessee, Indiana, or Ole Miss. Just the way that they played.
Well, why did they put them there?
I think they're basically just sort of ranked in order of sort of somewhat how they finished in the playoffs. So it's a little bit lazy. We're not taking into account what actually happened in some of these games. But I guess that doesn't explain why Oregon's up at 3. If you're going to do it that way, you're going to just say this is the order we all finished in. Sure. Then how do you explain Oregon at 3? It doesn't make any sense. I don't know. This seems like their laziest poll
let me ask you, because I noticed another thing. Colorado at 25. Should they be even on this list right there? Or are they just there because it's Deion Sanders love?
I mean, they're there because they had a strong season for the most part, and then they kind of tumbled at the end, but they just didn't tumble enough to fall off of the list. They had a good year.
All right. You know. Just checking, because a lot of times, I notice in the past, certain football players who happen to be on TV shows, they get that TV moment where the fat guy with the bad mustache comes out and says, "You're going into the Hall of Fame." And I'm like, I wonder if they would have gotten that year if it weren't for the fact they were on a TV show. So then I look at Colorado here and I'm thinking, would they be at this point? Are their teams better than Colorado down there? They should have been there, but except for the Deion Sanders show. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get that, but Colorado was a solid team this year. Okay. And they did lose their bowl game, but just coming down the stretch, Colorado played really good football. And, I think they dropped 5 in the poll because they lost the bowl game, but they fell from 20. It's not like they were legit. They were legit. Yeah.
All right. Well, ASU finished 7th in the final AP Top 25 poll here, highest ranking to end the season since 1996. Then in 96, they were 4th in the AP voting, and they finished 4th following that Rose Bowl win. So they've been higher, but not for a damn long time. So nice season, ASU. Let's see what you can put together for next year. Navy Brad says, since the AFC and NFC championship games are Sunday, the Bills have already been hit with roughing the passer. Oh, calm down. Probably right, but calm down. Fifth letter says, Keon, can I get a... Well, no, he can't say that on the radio. Why do you want him to say F yeah on the radio? He's not going to say F yeah on the radio.
What do you mean? You want me to lose my job?
Yeah, he says, Keon, can I get an F yeah?
And also, why? What are we F yang?
He's probably just delayed reaction for your Washington Commandos.
Well, there's get an HTTC for that, man. And that way, I don't need the word that's going to end my job.
Fifth letter's been texted in on your show a lot. He hadn't texted in on this show for a while.
Yeah, I wonder if it's just the time of day. Just works out better for him.
He says, definitely consider myself a Hall of Fame second rounder. Why would he have said that on January 16th at 2:27 p.m.?
There was some joke about it, but I can't remember.
He's been around a while. He could end up in the Texter Hall of Fame, but that's probably not what he's talking about. Bullseye says, did you see the old lady driving the golf cart with Ryan Day in it crash after the game? Women drivers. Am I right? I thought it was an Austin Powers moment where she just crashed it into the tunnel wall. Is that what it was?
Yeah, exactly.
Damn. Was she trying to parallel park?
I missed that.
Good.
No, she was trying to turn the cart around and she ran into the wall.
Just planted it, right?
Yeah.
That's funny. Oh, by the way, his Just for Men seems to have faded a little bit since remember the game where there was the big brawl and it was like, whoa, too much. And then the Just for Men, darkness level, not quite as dark last night.
Yes.
So he's either it's faded or he's gotten that weirdness under control.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, he's a weird looking dude, but
He is, yeah.
he won. Got to give him that. He won. Just a Tip says, Jeffrey, I know your parents were poor and couldn't afford a metric load of vowels, but probably a core reason for many of your problems. Yeah, I'm missing an E in my name. He says, but that's nothing compared to my youngest and his wife. They both graduated from U of A. Yikes. That's going to be a harder life for them.
Wow. Yeah.
You know, I could throw that extra E into my name if I wanted. Yeah, I could be a fraud, but I don't. I keep it real. I keep it, as the kids say, 100.
Is that what they say?
Do they say that or they say 100%?
I don't think so.
Nobody says 100%.
Never heard 100.
What do they say? Keeping it 100? 100?
No, I think they say keeping it real.
No, Jeffrey's right.
Yeah.
I am right?
Yeah.
Keep it 100?
Jeffrey's right?
Yeah.
Am I saying it right?
I haven't.
I mean,
heard
if you
that
if
yet.
you ask that many times, you're making yourself sound progressively less cool every time
No,
you
I'm
ask.
not
But you
trying to be
got
cool.
no, but
I'm
you got
saying
there.
For
I'm just saying,
other situations, is it 100 or is it 100?
really, if you say it fast enough, it kind
100.
of doesn't matter.
Okay, I'll say it fast. 100. Like I do hockey player names. Just say it fast.
Yeah.
Nobody cares if you mispronounce it.
Mm.
Got it. Okay. So anyways, what's your point, Just a Tip? Fifth letter says, last couple of weeks I've been getting out early, so I've been home by 3 p.m. You know, I got nothing but love for the blender. Back to my regular schedule. I'm back, baby. Cool, fifth letter. That's cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
But why do you want to F? Yeah. Is it about the Commanders? Is it? I think Keon's mood is going to get progressively more timid as we get closer to the weekend. I feel like he's still in that, like, I can't believe we're here. I can't believe that happened. I can't trust what's going to happen. He's just in shock.
I'm in shock. I don't understand exactly what's happened. I mean, but also like there's just a certain level of I've kept the same the same mentality the whole way through. I'm just enjoying the ride. This is gravy. Everything that's happening right now is so much better of a season than I expected that this team could ever have.
Yeah.
There are so many things that have happened that I never thought that they'd have. That damn playoff win finally got that off the back. The NFC title game. You're going to the NFC title game for the first time since I was 1. Like that's, I don't know what to say about it.
Do you realize, Keon, that your Commandos are 1 win away from the Super Bowl?
I ain't even thinking about all that, man. Let's just
Super Bowl licks.
Let's just play the Eagles.
Win.
I can't even imagine. Like it doesn't even, saying the words Washington Commanders and Super Bowl doesn't even make any sense to me. So let's just worry about the Eagles, and if they get it done, then I'll say the words that feel really impossible. But no, I can't even imagine it. I can't imagine it. It doesn't feel real, man. It doesn't feel real.
Fifth letter. You're not going to get that out of him. But he says, any given Sunday, fellas. Ain't that the truth? All right, let's take a break. When we come back, more on the college football title game last night and some other various things. We're going to talk football. We got tons of other things to talk about, too. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic. This update brought to you by Sport Trade. Download the Sport Trade app and use code VSIN to earn 10% cash back on every bet in your first week. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
NBA, the Phoenix Suns will wrap up a 5-game road trip on Wednesday. They'll head to Brooklyn to take on the Nets. On Monday, Phoenix lost to the Cleveland Cavaliers 118-92, but they've still won 5 of their last 8 games. Kevin Durant had 23 points. Brooklyn is playing tonight against the New York Knicks. College basketball, Arizona State in Morgantown to take on number 23 West Virginia. The Sun Devils are an 8.5-point underdog, plus 340 on the money line. Mountaineers minus 450, over under 133.5. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in
bonus bets when they bet $5. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Terms and conditions apply.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams winter sale and get 30% off paints and stains January 17th through the 27th. With prices starting at $34.29, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your bedroom, living room, or home office, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Hear that? The soothing sounds of a bubble bath. And if you were here, you'd smell a single cedar leaf candle. But you're not here. Your self-care happens out on the road, riding your motorcycle protected by Progressive. So if you ride, get back on the road and enjoy 24/7 roadside assistance from Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer. And then take a shower, because it's fast, like your motorcycle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Roadside assistance may require comprehensive coverage, not available in all states.
Make extra money daily from your sports betting? Dylan Cohen from Beat the Book here. You know, I'm always about finding ways to take sports betting to the next level. And that's exactly why I'm pumped to tell you about Edge Boost, the financial platform that pays you cash back to wager. Edge Boost is an online bank account that pays you for every deposit. With the Edge Boost Visa debit card, you're getting up to 0.5% cash back on all of your sportsbook, daily fantasy site, and casino transactions. That's free money back in your pocket just for doing what you're already doing. It's a no-brainer. Plus, your Edge Boost debit card starts with a $250,000 daily limit, and it will never be declined for gambling activity. They've got built-in tools to help you stay responsible, and there's absolutely no hidden fees or minimum required balances. So stop leaving money on the table. Visit edgeboost.bet to learn more and sign up today. That's edgeboost.bet. Once again, edgeboost.bet.
We put you so close to the game, you can almost smell the sweat.
Ooh, awkward.
GCU basketball is live on the Fanatic.
Thursday night, GCU men's basketball team is in Cedar City, Utah to take on Southern Utah. Tip times at 6:30, live from the America First Event Center.
Michael Potter and Paul Coro have the call live for GCU basketball on 1580 The Fanatic and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
It's weather here on 1580 The Fanatic. All right, this seems like a good time to remind everybody that our pal Fish Tank and his band Light Sleeper, they got a show at the Yucca Tap Room January 24th, which is this Friday, 8 p.m. You got to be 21 years or older. There's no cover charge. You just go down there and see Fish Tank and his band do their thing. You will enjoy it. I guarantee it. 888-368-1580. Donnie, oh, dear God. I don't know what you're going to do with this, Keon. He says, big thank you to Keon's Commanders. Freaking suck it, Boogie.
Oh, boy.
I mean, they beat his divisional rival.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you know, say whatever you want about Donnie, but if his Vikings took out one of my divisional rivals, I'd be very grateful.
My team hasn't been good enough to even have a rival. So, yeah.
I mean, you still have the divisional rivals, though.
I think we've spoiled some people's chances, but that's about it. With a surprising win here and there, but we haven't been since Andrew Luck. We haven't been.
You know, there was a time several years ago that the Cardinals spoiled the Vikings' chances on getting into the damn playoffs.
Yeah, it's like it's fun for a moment to be the spoiler. The rest of the time, it just sucks. It just sucks. Oh, speaking of Vikings, they went ahead and gave an extension to Kevin O'Connell. I don't know what the numbers are, but they say it's a blockbuster multi-year extension, keeps him in Minnesota for years to come. Also, I just saw this. Novak Djokovic, he escaped from Alcatraz. I didn't realize they were still utilizing that prison.
Excuse me?
That's what it says. It says he escaped Alcatraz.
No, that's Alcaraz. I don't think it's Alcatraz.
That's why. Gotcha.
I think you have to pronounce the T, Randy. It's Alcatraz.
There is no T in Carlos Alcaraz.
I think it's Alcaraz.
I think he played the tennis player named Carlos Alcaraz.
Who names a kid after a prison?
That's his last name. No one named him that.
Yeah.
That's his last name. So
well, since it's tennis, I don't care anymore.
And when they say he escaped him, I think it's he got lucky and he beat him. Yeah.
So we're just talking tennis now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we didn't get particularly in depth.
It's the Australian Open, mate.
Not bad, Randy.
That's not a knife. This is a knife.
They play with knives. That'd be something. Now I'll watch.
Well, I mean,
that I'd watch.
That's the kind of tennis that I would watch. Yeah.
Last Optimist says, I thought the Lions being good was upsetting the national order of things, but the Commanders winning has me out on the beach of the Gulf of America throwing snowballs at my kids. There's a lot in that sentence that is interesting. Well, for one thing, we're in the middle of an Arctic cold snap that is causing snow in the strangest of places, one place being New Orleans.
Yeah.
Snow in New Orleans hadn't happened in 15 years. It's snowing in New Orleans as you look out over the Gulf of America.
Beaches of America.
Yeah, well, the new president, what's his name, says, hey, we're going to change it from Gulf of Mexico to Gulf of America. Who originally named that, though? I mean, can you just do that? Because I just want to call the Sea of Japan the Sea of Jeffrey.
I think you should.
There's nobody to stop me. I'm just going to do it.
Yeah, I think you should. Go ahead.
Navy Brad says, for Sunday, I've got the Commando Elite 28, the Eagles 27. Wow. Okay. It just feels like you just threw a random number at us that had the Commandos on top.
I mean, how about the Commandos run, though? I mean, that kid was so cool in the pocket. He used to be the ASU guy, and he won the Heisman at LSU. Remember him? That kid? And now he's a quarterback for the Commandos. And we couldn't fix him. We couldn't help him here, and so he left.
Remember? Well, he got Herm Edwards. I think that's what happened. He got Herm Edwards.
Yeah, and he went to greener pastures. Well, anyway, wow. I mean, I'm so happy for Keon and his Commandos. I wish the Cardinals had a quarterback like him. How much fun?
Me too. I wish the Colts had
having. How much fun are you having, Keon?
I'm having a lot of fun, but there's just
dude, have fun.
There's a level of disbelief. I was telling Jeffrey this yesterday that my girlfriend was confused. I was watching the game and I was in silence the whole time because I just couldn't understand what I was looking at. It still doesn't feel real. Because this is what Lions fans had to get to this point. They had a few years of building up to this. They ramped up to this.
Yeah.
This came out of nowhere. 12-win season, the 12-win season, the 2 playoff wins on the road.
Listen, if your coach, Pat McGowan, if he doesn't win, NFL Coach of the Year, I don't know what the hell. Pat McGowan, the head coach of the
Dan Quinn, Randy.
What's that?
Dan Quinn is who's Pat McGowan?
I said Dan Quinn. That's exactly what I said. Dan Quinn. If he doesn't win NFL Coach of the Year, there's something wrong.
Now everybody has to look up Pat McGowan to know what the hell you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about. I never said
the
Pat
golf
McGowan.
instructor.
I said Dan Quinn. No.
Pat McGowan, the PGA Tour golf instructor.
No, I never said Pat. I don't know where you're grabbing Pat McGowan from.
Keon, did you hear Pat McGowan?
Dan Quinn.
He did say Pat McGowan.
It's not just my imagination.
It is not just your imagination.
Now it was Dan Quinn. You heard
but I do appreciate the kind words.
Exactly. He should be the coach of the year. Yeah, Dan Quinn. That's what I said.
About that, I don't know about that. Maybe, maybe. I mean, because he did. It just, but this is not. Yeah, this is first year, right? First year.
Yeah.
Maybe with the Commanders. It's his first year. This team
won
4 games last year.
Head coach of the year. Yeah.
Maybe. Maybe you're right. A lot of people would say it's the guy. The Vikings just extended, but
And
I
like,
no,
I mean,
no.
look, you
I
win,
just wrote it down here, Dan
win what
Quinn.
14 games with Sam Darnold. There's something there. There's an
No.
argument to be made.
Randy, if you write it down, it doesn't make it official. By
No,
any
it's
means.
official. I wrote it down, and
I'm
my
sure you
sources
officially
tell
wrote it
me
down.
if I just write it down and send it in, then that's official.
That's not true. Just Tip says Fish Tank asked me to dust off my bass and play a little with him. I just bleeping might. Huh? No kidding. Well, I don't know what this link is that you have here, but I believe you. Latina Leprechaun says, if this doesn't show you that Kyler Murray was the problem in Arizona, not Cliff Kingsbury, I don't know what does. Wish Cliff was still here with the Cardinals. No, you don't.
No, you don't. Cliff Kingsbury's a terrible coach. He was a
I
terrible
don't.
coach in
Yeah,
Arizona.
I don't.
He was a terrible coach at Texas Tech. Cliff Kingsbury had Patrick Mahomes and was 500 the whole time there. Don't do this. Don't do this.
Cliff Kingsbury.
He's a good offensive coordinator, but like, let's not act like he's a
Right.
head coach all of a sudden.
And I contend he'll be a good offensive coordinator for a limited amount of time once Jaden Daniels matures beyond, I guess, Cliff Kingsbury. They're going to need a different kind of offensive coordinator because two-dimensional is what I call Cliff Kingsbury. Two-dimensional.
He is, but I do think that there are other guys on that coaching staff, and I just think this is just smart by Dan Quinn. They got a lot of other former really good assistant coaches to be on that coaching staff, and you can see the influence of that. When his offense started to stall out in the middle of the season, the Commanders had that 3-game losing streak or something like that. Like they were able to get right back on track, and a lot of that was the other coaches in his ear going, "Cliff, come on, you've got to change this thing up." I think Cliff's going to get hired eventually, though. Have another crack at being a head coach, and then
no kidding,
problem solved, I guess.
So just to get somebody else's problem. He'd be a great head coach.
Someone's going to think that. I mean, like,
because people are dumb.
Because if you look at the offensive numbers, they're going to take a crack at it. And if you have a young quarterback and you want to try, let's see if Cliff Kingsbury's learned anything in his time away from being a head coach. Because other coaches do. I mean,
sorry, I just internalized that one. The Colts have a young quarterback. Please don't. No.
Well, you're not looking for a head coach, are you?
No. Well,
I didn't think so.
I should have been, but I guess I'm not.
Well, I mean, you still have your head coach, is what I'm asking.
Yeah. Bullseye says, Keon, if your Commanders beat the Eagles in the NFC Championship game, I will be giving you a big fat kiss as a thank you next time I see you.
Good heavens.
This just in, Keon no longer appearing publicly.
I decline, but also when my girlfriend jumps off the top rope and knocks you unconscious, don't blame me.
Oh, so she's jealous even if it's a man doing it.
She doesn't care.
Give you the elbow.
What about if it's Jeffrey or I? Can Jeffrey or I give you a big smooch right on your face?
I wouldn't test her.
Yeah, well,
I wouldn't test her.
I would never, ever.
Randy, I will.
But I would
will.
never.
Yeah.
0% chance
if
that
he goes to the Super Bowl, I'm gonna congratulate him with a big old fat kiss right on the cheek.
Not again,
really helping.
Declined and absolutely not necessary.
I think I need to. Yeah, no, this is going to happen.
It's absolutely not going to happen.
If they beat the Eagles, you got one coming from me, Jack. That's how we celebrate around here, right, Jeffrey?
No,
are you trying to make an argument for me to root against my own team? What's that?
Never.
So are you trying to make an argument for me to root against my own team here?
No, your team.
Because I'm considering it.
if they win, I have to tell you, this team is something else. And Dan Quinn, when he was it the Falcons?
He was with the Falcons.
They went to the Super Bowl, right?
Lost it to Tommy Brady.
And they just kind of melted down at halftime at the Super Bowl. But I hope he's learned something here. And oh my God, are you kidding? This is crazy. That the Commandos are where they're at. This is just crazy.
New owner, new GM, new coach, new quarterback, and it just all worked out. That's so ridiculous as a concept. I don't even know. I struggle to put it into words.
You're right, Keon. It is ridiculous, and I can't believe that you
don't start
just said that.
Yeah. Can I also just?
I totally forgot about that.
Here's a new rule. The Daily Blender is a kiss-free zone. There will be no kissing on. You have to follow him and catch him at the grocery store because you can't do it in the studios. That is a kiss-free zone. CRC Broadcasting. a kiss-free zone.
You know what? You're just a fun assassin.
Well, no, I
Jeffrey.
feel like that's
Sometimes
only fun for one
you are-
person when
you
an
are
unwanted schmooch comes right at your face.
He would totally take a kiss from me. Are you
I
ki-
have said on
congratulatory,
more
you
than
know,
one
from
occasion
his
that no.
brother. Absolutely.
I like I said, I appreciate it, but I also decline.
See,
I decline.
right there. He just said he would like it.
Strongly decline. The sentiment I appreciate.
0% want.
The actual kiss, I'll pass. Actually,
Latina Leprechaun says, are we really going to have to listen to Tom Brady call the NFC Championship game and the Super Bowl this year? There's only so much dumb I can handle on my play-by-play. I don't know that Tom Brady's dumb, but I do think he's not great at play-by-play. And I feel like he doesn't collect his thoughts very quickly, and he just kind of stumbles over stuff, gets a lot wrong. Kind of like me yesterday on melatonin. By the way, yesterday I was kind of a space cadet, and I was struggling as we were doing the show. And the reason is because I had to up my melatonin to 15 milligrams. Now, 10.
Excuse me?
Yeah, usually 5 is enough or 2.5 is enough to help you sleep. But then the melatonin I need to take, because I got something, they call it night terrors. But since I'm not scared, I'm always just angry and fighting invisible monsters. So it's not night terror. It's more like, we call it a night incident. I had to
night terror, and that it's scary for anybody who happens to be around. They might get punched.
No, I mean, that's fair. That's fair. I get night incidences, and they've started getting worse. So I had to go up to 15 milligrams of melatonin, and I have been having the hardest time maintaining a thought. So I'm probably going to have to back that off a little bit. There was a point. See, here's another example. There was a point I was going to make. I can't remember what it was.
Oh, geez.
The hell were we talking about?
That happens to me all the
Does
time.
anybody know? There was a point to me telling you this. Don't know what it was.
Yeah. Tom Brady doesn't collect his thoughts very well.
Yes, that was me yesterday fighting against the too much melatonin in the system issue that I have. Bullseye says, Randy, do you know what's ridiculous? The cost of cigarettes these days. Man, I miss the days of 50-cent pack of cigarettes when I was a kid, smoking in high school.
Yep. I get it. That is ridiculous.
That's right.
You're exactly right.
Not only do you get lung cancer, you got to pay a lot, Bullseye. You got to pay a lot. Coom says, how long does Fox go riding Tom as a broadcaster until the CTE starts showing up? Boy, he hasn't really shown any evidence of that. I mean, he's had some concussions, but he seems all right. I mean, how long does it take for it to start affecting you? Doesn't it affect you pretty much right away?
No, it just depends for different players. How severe were the hits? How many did you have? How close together were there? There are like a lot of factors there, so you can never tell.
Moist One says, kiss free zone. The things I've done for tickets says otherwise.
Excuse me?
Not here.
That's a lie. And kissing was never involved. All right, let's take a break. When we come back, stuff I was going to talk about in this segment that we didn't get around to. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Terms and conditions apply.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Make extra money daily from your sports betting? Dylan Cohen from Beat the Book here. I'm always about finding ways to take sports betting to the next level. And that's exactly why I'm pumped to tell you about Edge Boost, the financial platform that pays you cash back to wager. Edge Boost is an online bank account that pays you for every deposit. With the Edge Boost Visa debit card, you're getting up to 0.5% cash back on all of your sportsbook, daily fantasy site, and casino transactions. That's free money back in your pocket just for doing what you're already doing. It's a no-brainer. Plus, your Edge Boost debit card starts with a $250,000 daily limit, and it will never be declined for gambling activity. They've got built-in tools to help you stay responsible, and there's absolutely no hidden fees or minimum required balances. So stop leaving money on the table. Visit edgeboost.bet to learn more and sign up today. That's edgeboost.bet. Once again, edgeboost.bet.
Hey, everybody, it's Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. Did you know that the Lund Mortgage Team was founded back in 1999? That's right. They're celebrating 25 years in existence this year. And you know what you have to do to stay in business that long? You have to be good at what you do. And the Lund Mortgage Team is not just good, they are great. They have helped thousands of people save thousands of dollars over those 25 years here in the Valley of the Sun. They only lend in Arizona. And they're mortgage brokers, which means they can shop your rate around. They're not tied to just one set of rates. Mortgage rates can get crazy. They can get high. They can get low. There's good times to strike and there's times to stay on the sideline. Let the Lund Mortgage Team be your coach, be your team leader when it comes to these huge decisions. Call 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940, or you can always check them out at lundmortgage.com. Great website with all the tools you need. Call them today. They're my great friends, and you'll love them. It's the Lund Mortgage Team.
This is Brian Musburger. Don't miss Betting Across America, Saturdays at 11 a.m. right here on Arizona Sports Betting Station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Barry Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. I don't understand. Randy, are you posting things on the internet about smoking?
No, I don't have any of the social medias. I don't have the Tig Tag. I don't have the Smoking Joes. I don't have the any of those illustrious social media sites.
So Just a Tip says, Randy, I love your smoking posts. I love your pups in your online feed. I want more Randy.
Oh, well, thank you.
Talking about?
I don't know. I have no social media sites whatsoever.
Chief Skoll says no Kiss at CRC Broadcasting, so that rules out Detroit Rock City.
I mean,
not
yes,
Kiss the band.
Detroit Rock City. That's a classic. That and
we're just saying no lips on lips.
Love Gun.
Keon does not want Randy's lips on his lips or anywhere near his lips.
I think if I were standing next to him and the Commandos win the game, I don't think I would have to do anything. He would probably grab me right by the face and just plant a fat one right on me.
If you're not my girlfriend, the answer is no.
Mm-hmm.
It just is no.
Well, count yourself lucky if you end up being his girlfriend. Then the answer is yes.
I am sort of.
But
I am sort of cute, Keon. I mean,
I am already spoken for.
You're gonna have to just sit back and let that relationship be what it is, Randy. Just Big George says, Randy, let me know if you want to sue the rat bastard that ran you over with that car. I think we get a nice juicy settlement there.
Well, that was me. I ran myself over.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
If he could sue himself and actually get away with it, then he would.
Believe me, I've laid awake thinking about how I can sue myself and make millions.
Navy Brad says, Randy, yourself as a Cardinals fan, what changes would you like seeing done to make the team a playoff contender? Shake the Etch-a-Sketch is what I'd say, but go ahead, Randy.
Well, I mean, I think the defense is right there. I think we need to add a couple of edge rushers, and I feel like the defense is right there. I mean, we need to pay attention to the guys over the top, playing by themselves, in the secondary. And as far as the offense goes, we have a good running game. I wouldn't say great. I'd say James Conner has done a wonderful job rebuilding that running game, and I'd like to see us continue to build that offensive line. And then I think we should ship Kyler Murray somewhere to the South Pacific. You know, one of those islands.
Nice place.
And just let him kind of enjoy his retirement and on an island somewhere. And then we need to bring in a real quarterback. Like, God, I wish we could have got Jaden Daniels. Holy mackerel, Keon. I can't believe how happy I am for you.
Yeah. You never know who Jaden Daniels is going to be in any given draft.
Exactly.
They got the right guy.
You know, maybe we could bring Joe Burrow over to the Cardinals. You see what I'm saying?
Oh,
he's my God.
He should have been MVP, except for his team lost all the damn time.
Yeah, because he was attached to the worst defense in the entire AFC. It felt like.
Hey, don't worry, we're taking that defensive coordinator on over to the Colts.
Well, he's a good coordinator. They just they genuinely don't have corners.
They don't have the talent.
Yeah, Cincinnati, like
it's a round defense.
Lou Anarumo is a good coordinator. They don't have corners, and like honestly, they could probably use a safety too. It's that secondary is not talented.
Beer nuts.
I think the Cardinals. To finish this question, the Cardinals need to pay attention to those things that I listed to make them a playoff contender.
Well, Beer Nut says Coach Cliff was a great coach. Have you been to Lubbock? No players wanted to play in Lubbock. Cliff took the Cardinals to the playoffs and went 12-0. It's the midget that's terrible.
He's a good recruiter. That's how you get people to play in Lubbock that don't want to play in Lubbock. Like, look, there are people like Dan Mullen got a lot of traction and got players to play in Starkville, Mississippi. That doesn't mean you're a good coach. It means you're a good recruiter, which he was. And then he took that talent and first off, didn't build a defense with any of it. And then had the same kinds of seasons we saw with the Cardinals for years, where they'd start hot and then they'd lose, 4 out of their last 5 games. That's Cliff. And if he's a head coach again, watch, it's going to happen again.
Donnie's asking, will Jeffrey let you take time off if the Commanders make it to New Orleans?
Man,
why?
We should.
The game's on Sunday.
We should.
You got travel time.
Oh my God.
I'm not traveling to New Orleans because I can't afford to go to New Orleans to do what?
Well, that's settled.
I'll watch the game here in my house. I watch all the other Super Bowls.
To answer the question, if he had the opportunity, I wouldn't have the opportunity to say no. He would just tell me it was happening.
If I had the opportunity to go and if I had the money, I would go. I don't, and I don't.
Wilbur says, you know what? That's a great idea, Randy. If Keon's Washington team wins the Super Bowl, we'll do a kind of like in the movie Airplane when they're beating up that person who's screaming. Only this time we'll all line up and give Keon kisses.
Hey, I like it.
There will not be a kiss conga line.
Congratulatory kisses right there. Yeah.
I don't even care what Keon wants anymore. I'm saying no, that's not happening. I'm
putting
putting an end to it.
I just want you all to know I am swinging on all of you.
He'll be swinging, and I'll have a fire hose on everyone.
Left hand, and then right hand, and then left hand again. You got it
crazy here.
I do not. I get that.
All right. So
what I am dating none of you. I do not want this.
What about if we come up with some like highfalutin?
There is nothing you could do
to jive thing that these guys do. They have these. Crazy wicked
if you want the handshake
things, you know what I mean?
You want a good dap, we can do that, but there's no kissing going on.
Is that what it's called?
Here's what happens. You get a fist bump, or you get a fist bump to the face if you try to kiss him.
I think Keon and I should come up with our own like hand jive thing where we're like, and we're pulling on each other's fingers and we're slapping 5 and we're doing all that. You know what I'm talking about, Jeffco?
You know what you're talking about, that I'm sure Keon would be fine with a little dabbing up, as they say.
Yeah, that'd be okay.
All right.
But if anybody tries to,
but I only kiss my girlfriend. That is just the point of fact.
When I see Keon start swinging away at the line, I'm going to jump right next to him, and I'm going to swing away with him. I will help protect his I
used to box. That's not going to be fun.
You guys,
I just promise.
You're not confident with your maleness, apparently.
No, I don't want to.
I don't be kissed.
Granted, not that any women on the text line offered, but also no to you too. I mean, I won't swing on
See
you.
what I
I
mean?
won't hit you.
See
but
what I mean?
no to all of you.
By the
Literally
way,
no to all of you.
what about
Moist
it?
one, no. He put let that thang swang, like you said, and then he put a what is that purple thing?
Oh,
the
the
fruit?
eggplant
The
emoji.
eggplant
Eggplant.
emoji next to it.
Mm.
No, Moist one. That's not what he means.
No, I don't. I have no need.
That's why I said left
Always
hand
makes
and
that
then right
weird.
hand.
This is
makes
not
stuff
what I was
weird.
trying to say. What about if we do this, Keon? For you and I, your girlfriend's there. We do our handshake that we've come up with, and to end it, you kiss your girlfriend.
Well,
That just feels odd for
Yeah.
just a different set of reasons.
Why?
I don't understand.
Now,
Let's just do the handshake. We don't. Why do we need the extra
Don't need
step
that.
at the end?
He's not going to get like all softened up for you, Randy. It's not going to be like he kisses his girlfriend and goes, "All right." It's not going to happen that way.
Damn it.
Taco Kenny says, "Touchdown, Jesus. Where were you when we needed you in the first half? Why?" Shot of Jack, please. Sorry, Taco
man.
Kenny. Sorry, Taco Kenny.
Yeah.
Bullseye says, "I got a question for the Beat the Book guys." Well, you're an hour late, Bullseye.
One half of Beat the Book is home already.
He says,
Yeah.
"Why does sports gambling terms have so much sexual connotations to it? Dylan keeps talking about edging, edge boosts, hedging bets. How's hedging a bet
Hedging,
sexual?
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I need to take a shower after I hear his commercial.
Hmm.
It might
I
just be
feel
you.
like, yeah, I
man.
feel like you just need to process whatever it is that you've got going on in your mind. Because like really only one of those could you actually make into something kind of sexual. The other stuff you said is not that, though. Is the thing.
Walter Mellon says, "What is going on?" I just turned on the show and I hear Randy talking about standing next to Keon's commando, giving him a big kiss. It's really not what was said, but it's
not
close.
what I
No,
said.
it's close.
It's close enough, and
Yeah, it's getting
yeah,
weird.
it's past weird, but sure.
Did not say
Well,
that.
for you, it's past weird. For me, it's kind of just getting there.
Yeah.
Devil Hawk says, "You know what the Cardinals need to do to get better? Get rid of Kyler Murray and get a decent quarterback. Problem
That's what I
solved."
said. Well,
I've been saying that since before they drafted him. I told you this was going to happen.
yeah,
This
I mean,
is-
that's part of the issue, but I still believe that we're weak over the top. I mean, I think Matthew Stafford, guys like that, they can still hurt us over the top. We need a secondary. We need to build it up, and I think we're on our way there, and we definitely need a quarterback upgrade. I mean, and an offensive line that we just need to keep getting that offensive line better. When I watched the Eagles play this past weekend, it was like 4 out of the 5 down linemen were all pros. That's what I want the Cardinals to be. Like 4 out of 5 of the offensive linemen to be, all pro.
And the fifth guy, he's just a dick.
He's got to feel bad.
They can't stand him. No,
he's
they don't
just-
even like him.
He's just all right.
Nobody talks to him in the locker room.
It's like all pro, all pro, all
You know what he
pro.
is? He's like that fifth dentist. You know what I mean? Nobody likes that fifth dentist.
4 out of 5 dentists.
Right.
Recommend. Yes.
Yeah.
What a jerk. Latina Leprechaun says, "Will the Weekend Warriors be broadcasting live from Philadelphia this Sunday for the NFC Championship game?"
No.
But if so, can they leave Neil behind? Well, they could, yeah.
We all hope so, but
Yeah.
we don't have a say in it.
Yeah, none of our business. Fifth letter says, "Let's make a GoFundMe cage for Keon and his Super Bowl ticket. Only one,
Right?
Keon. Your girlfriend can't go."
Right?
He's not going to go without her.
No.
Um,
She's seen all of the full range of emotions, mostly all the bad ones from when they were bad,
Yeah, I
which
think
was
we'll-
not that long ago.
We'll save GoFundMe's for, more serious reasons.
Yeah.
Dirty
My
Bird
car
says,
is falling apart. I don't think I should take any money to go see the
Right.
Super Bowl.
right? As a Commanders fan, do you associate Daniels more with ASU or LSU?
I associated more with ASU just because when I first moved out here, and I like the first week of college football, I went to go see ASU, and I didn't know I was watching my future quarterback that day, and he was awesome in that game. I mean, good lord, he was everywhere.
Chief Skull says, "I believe there was a bet at the beginning of the year that if Washington Commandos made it to the Super Bowl, that Jeffrey would pay for you to go to the Super Bowl. find the audio.
No bet.
guarantee
No
you I
such
didn't say
bet was
that.
made. No such bet was made. I can say that as a fact.
All right, listen, that is 1 hour down. One giant fiction that has just been written by Chief Skoll, and 2 hours to go. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZQuil.
ZQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZQuil nights. Explore our products at ZQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-Made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-Made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hey, everybody, it's Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. Did you know that the Lund Mortgage Team was founded back in 1999? That's right. They're celebrating 25 years in existence this year. And you know what you have to do to stay in business that long? You have to be good at what you do. And the Lund Mortgage Team is not just good, they are great. They have helped thousands of people save thousands of dollars over those 25 years here in the Valley of the Sun. They only lend in Arizona. And they're mortgage brokers, which means they can shop your rate around. They're not tied to just one set of rates. Mortgage rates can get crazy. They can get high. They can get low. There's good times to strike and there's times to stay on the sideline. Let the Lund Mortgage Team be your coach, be your team leader when it comes to these huge decisions. Call 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940, or you can always check them out at lundmortgage.com. Great website with all the tools you need. Call them today. They're my great friends, and you'll love them. It's the Lund Mortgage Team.
Hey, sports fans, this is Dylan Cohen.
And I'm Keon Rose, and we're bringing you Beat the Book every weekday from 2 to 3 in the afternoon.
So if you want the latest betting picks, advice, and analysis that's sharp as a knife,
or at least sharper than Dylan's last pick on the Cardinals.
Oh, you've got jokes, huh? Maybe you're feeling bold now that your Commanders actually look decent this season.
Hey, even a broken clock's right twice a day, right?
Well, tune in to Beat the Book with us, Dylan Cohen and Keon Rose, every weekday from 2 to 3 on 1580 The Fanatic.
Brought to you by Sport Trade, the newest sports book in Arizona.
Head coach Bobby Hurley and Sun Devil men's basketball are ready to join the Big 12 Conference. This season, the Sun Devils host conference foes Baylor, Iowa State, Arizona, TCU, and Houston, all at Desert Financial Arena. And another steal ahead to Miller, and Miller reverses it up and in, and he's fouled! Holy moly! Join the action and get your Sun Devil men's basketball tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it. All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, broadcasting live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. So last night, watching Ohio State beat Notre Dame in the football championship, I was in there like, hey, I was pretty excited because I just finally listened to Kendrick Lamar, who's going to be doing the Super Bowl halftime show. And I was, this Travis Scott person is going to do a new song at halftime. They said he's performing at halftime. I was like, all right, okay, well, this will be interesting. We're going to have Travis Scott in the halftime show. It was just a damn music video. It wasn't live. They Mariah Carey'd it, is what they did. Like Mariah Carey in that stupid Christmas song of hers that she was supposed to perform. You got to stop using those words. If it's not
live. You didn't perform it. You made a video for it. Totally different thing. And so here comes Travis Scott, and he comes out. It's not a bad song. Yeah, it was all right. I don't know. 4x4 seemed all right. I mean, it was just, I wasn't excited by it. They had a marching band, and he was sort of shuffling about on the roof like an old guy who got lost up there.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know it was I didn't know what that was supposed to be. But so yeah, now so was that a good song? Did you see the song?
Yeah, I thought it was okay.
So I was right in my assessment.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm not the biggest Travis Scott fan, so
it's not bad.
Music is just not for me. That's
okay. Okay, all right. Just I don't know. I was disappointed it wasn't live. I thought, oh, there's a dude on the roof. He must be getting ready to do as they do, like Lady Gaga or whoever else. They rappel down and they're like, "Aha, I'm here," And so then it never became that. They just kept shuffling about on the roof.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The college football halftime shows, they've got to step their game up, because it's usually like that. It's some version of that where it's a song, even if the music is actually good, it's usually not, I don't know, it's not performed live in this way that feels really fun or interesting. You don't remember college football championship halftimes.
Yeah, no. Yeah, well, here's the good news. He's doing he's doing the release on Friday for 4x4, right? And it's the first solo material since he did Utopia back in 2023. And he says what they're going to do is donate 100% of the net proceeds from the two merchandise styles, the shirt and the zip hoodie, all that stuff. They're going to donate all the money from that for the first responders in Los Angeles.
Oh, that's cool.
From the merchandise, I guess, just not the actual song.
Yeah, but he's got a pretty big following. There'll be a lot of money coming.
Enough
from
shirts and hoodies sold that this will make a difference. Okay. Anyway, so there you go. That's all I got from last night, except for the reporters were saying that the Notre Dame kids were being jerks after the game. After the loss.
What do you mean being jerks? What does that mean?
Well, they said that bizarre scenes from the Notre Dame locker room, players yelling at reporters, coaches warning people not to ask certain questions. He said it was like amateur hour in there. If the locker room is open, which it is for the college football playoffs, reporters should be able to go in there and respectfully ask questions without being sworn at. If a player doesn't want to talk, that's fine. So I guess they were a contentious locker room after the game. Which I can't blame anyone for.
Especially when you're not talking about somebody whose brain is even really fully developed. You're talking about somebody who's like 21, 22 years old, and here's a big time loss. They're still hurting from it. I expect an NFL player to be able to handle that with a little bit more, grace and dignity. You're a college kid, man, like, I don't know. I don't expect you to fully be mature, because you're not. When I was 21, I don't know. I to this day still don't like losing. It's the worst feeling that can happen. But at 21, like I didn't take any of that well. I can't imagine getting to the peak of college football and then losing. And yeah, you'd like to hope that a guy like Marcus Freeman would have those guys, in a place where they could probably be a little bit more professional. But when a 21-year-old is not a professional in their behavior, I'm not shocked.
Nothing new is ever going to be said in a loser's locker room. Nothing new. And so I've never understood why you want to go in there and bother those guys anyway. Why you want to trot them out in front of the press at the table with the microphones. So how do you feel? Well, how do you think I feel? So what happened? You saw the game. There's no good question that gets answered by the losing team or coach. The coaches can handle it because they'll be like, yeah, well, here's what we saw. This is what happened. You're right. Maturity level there for a coach should be pretty well established. But even for the NFL, even at older, you're like, after we just went through, no, thank you. I do not feel like talking to you. I will suddenly go from a happy, nice guy to Bill Belichick on steroids.
Yeah.
There's no good that comes of it. So I don't know. People shouldn't get suspended if they don't want to talk after losing. They should just leave them the hell alone. I I don't know why they force it.
I agree. Yeah.
Kiss the Cook says, snack a what? What?
Excuse me?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And Kiss the Cook says, ain't no kissing Keon. And oh, Jeffrey, my humble apology for disrupting your fondness for the Buckeyes. No,
What?
my fondness for Buckeye, Arizona being one of the contestants in the Redneck Olympics. I do not have a actual fondness for Buckeye, Arizona, or for the Buckeyes of that stupid Ohio State. Hope that explains that.
You mean the Ohio State?
No, I'm not
The
saying that. No, there ain't no.
Ohio State.
Not doing that. Not doing that. I refuse to give them what they want. Can't even read that, Moisman. Pink Eye says Travis Scott shoes are expensive.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know. I've never seen Travis Scott shoes. I don't know.
Is he some sort of an athlete?
No, Travis Scott's a rapper guy.
Then why are his shoes so expensive?
Because he's got shoes. I don't know.
All right.
They're like the
All right, I'm announcing right now. I'm taking a moment here to announce to the world that I'm putting out my own line of shoes.
Well, he got Nike to sell his, so if you can get Nike to sell yours, you probably
I don't
do all
know
right.
what mine will be. They'll probably be Skechers slip-ons, and they will cost $500 a piece.
Pass.
Well, if Travis Scott can do it, why can't I?
You certainly can try. By the way, did we ever get Taco Kenny a shot of Jack?
Yes.
Because he's still texting. Why? He did not take the loss last night very well at all.
Yeah. I mean, anytime your school gets close and you lose there, it's tough. It's a tough feeling.
It's going to be okay, Taco Kenny. It's going to be okay.
Except for it's not, if you're an ASU fan, because tonight ASU basketball is visiting West Virginia, 23 ranked West Virginia.
Yeah.
And well, ASU has lost 4 of its last 5. They're on a 4-game losing streak that looks to continue. I don't know if they can handle West Virginia. After what we've seen, we keep hoping they can beat a ranked team. If they're going to beat a ranked team, this lower ranked West Virginia should be the one.
It should, and like they're also, they're also a team that, like, when you look at the numbers, ASU and West Virginia are pretty close, actually, just in terms of points per game. ASU averages a couple points more, a couple rebounds more, and they're about dead even in assists. Like, the way that they play is kind of similar. So if you get a team that is actually a good matchup for you, you have to take advantage of it. And I think the Sun Devils have to win.
West Virginia is undefeated in a dotted line. They win, they lose, they win, they lose, they win. ASU is just consistently defeated 4 in a row. So,
yeah, I mean, they started off hot, but once you get into conference play, it's just a little bit different. Where you talk about how tough the Big 12 has been, and that's what the ASU's been stuck inside of, is you're just playing Big 12 school after Big 12 school, and whether or not they're ranked, all of these schools can play at a very high level, and all of these schools will be doing something in March. So, you've got to raise your game up and get to a higher level. Moving to the Big 12 might have been great for ASU football. ASU basketball has to raise their level for this to be good for them too.
Well, the AP Top 25 came out. Yeah, we're not on it.
Basketball?
Yeah, no. And neither is Arizona, which is good. So how do you feel about the placement of things? It made sense that Iowa State would drop after that loss, but for the most part, everything looks to be in order. Purdue has jumped up 6 spots to the 11, and Wisconsin's jumped up 6 to the 18. St. John's has jumped up 6 to 20. So bunch of upsets lately. Is that what this is all about?
Yeah, there's been some upsets, and there's also just been some schools that have been underachieving a little bit. You got a little bit of underachieving from like a school like UConn, like they're the defending champs, but they've had their ups and downs throughout the season. especially early on. But anytime that they slip up, it just seems like they can never get the traction to get back up to the top, where they'd like to be. So, yeah, I mean, like there's a lot of parity in college basketball. There's a lot of teams with a lot of talent across multiple conferences, multiple different, sizes of schools. College basketball has, in a way, something that college football might get as a result of having a playoff, but right now doesn't necessarily have, where you kind of just don't know who the best teams, the best teams are, sorry, but you don't know like that next group of teams who separates themselves there. There's just a lot of really good teams.
Yeah, about top 6, 7, you're solid. The rest, it can jump up and down, right?
Yeah.
By the way, Michigan State, which is Radio Ron's alma mater, is ranked 8th right now. So he's got to be happy about that.
He should. They're having a really good season, and like Michigan State can do this, and they have years where you go, okay, well, maybe that program's starting to finally get to that point where they're not consistently winning, and then they have a year like this where they remind everybody they're a program that can recruit really well. They're a program that's got a lot of history, and of course, great coaching.
888-368-1580. Golden Domer says, is Buckeye High School called the Buckeye Buckeyes? Yeah, I don't know what their mascot is in Buckeye. I don't know. Hefty Lefty says that white lightning is going to be flowing in the stands. Going to be a rowdy atmosphere. ASU should feel at home. Is he talking about West Virginia? I think he's talking about West Virginia.
I think he's talking about
West Virginia.
Yeah. Also, Buckeye High School, they're the Hawks.
Buckeye Hawks. Yeah, okay. Just a Tip says, is there a higher level of appreciation on the blender than having Jeffrey say, I can't read that online? Yeah, when I read them online, I feel like that's a higher level of appreciation.
No, I think the thing that you're looking for is when Jeffrey says it's funny, but I can't read that.
Yeah, that's a good point. Is it official? Moist One says that Josh McDaniels back in Foxborough. He's now an assistant for Vrabel in Foxborough. Okay.
Yeah. That's exactly the level that he should be at. He should never be a head coach ever again.
Never, ever, ever. And I think
not
that
good at it.
NFL knows that. Robert Kraft might even go, hey, we're not paying you as much because you know why. And then walk out of his office. And now the Jets are working on the deal. They're hiring Aaron Glenn as their head coach. They're finalizing the deal. That is the word on the streets. In fact, the whole behind the scenes thing, they said, we're not going to let him leave the building until he's a coach. So,
which is
that sounds like kidnapping.
Completely unnecessary, because Aaron Glenn said he wanted the Jets job.
I know, but they're just like, whatever happens, he doesn't leave this building unless he signs with us. What if he doesn't sign? Well, then he's a dead man. What? You can't say that.
He's leaving the building because he has they don't want him to leave the building because he's got an interview with the Saints tomorrow.
No, he doesn't. Not anymore.
Not anymore. And also, if you had to choose between the Jets and the Saints, and I know that the Jets just finished a season where they looked for everything like a dumpster fire, the Saints can't do anything. They have no cap space. They're not so bad that they're getting a top level draft pick. Like, the Saints are stuck in a very, very bad place. I would not want to be the head coach of the Saints if I had other options.
Mm-hmm. So the storyline is Patriots interview Josh McDaniels for offensive coordinator. Why would they need to even interview him? Like, they know him. He worked there for many years.
They know him, but now you've got a new head coach in town. And like, Vrabel is like, do I want you to be my offensive coordinator? It's a different interview entirely. They've got a different general manager. Obviously, Bill's no longer in control of that. So
don't act like you don't know me.
Yeah, I mean, they might know him in that building, but Vrabel's like, no, why should I hire? Why should I hire you? Don't worry about, you worked for Bill. You didn't work for me. Now you work for me. Why should I hire you?
Yeah, obviously, because they were both formed by the same forge. So That's
Okay.
why.
Okay.
And
could
that's
st-
why
that-
I
that
think
does-
that's what they went with.
That doesn't mean that I can't find another offensive coordinator. So yeah, I still need you to interview.
Vrabel, I'll come across this table and kick your ass.
Have you seen Mike Vrabel? Josh McDaniels is not doing that to him.
Oh no, Keon, that was a total bluff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think Vrabel
I
would
wouldn't
probably
call it-
smirk and be like, I appreciate your moxie.
I wouldn't call it. Yeah. The way I saw Mike Vrabel talk to some Titans players when he was the head coach over there, and it's like the players were scared of him.
No, listen, it's a complete bluff. If listen, Tubby Josh McDaniels says that, Vrabel's just gonna laugh.
Yeah.
And like, oh, okay, all right, you're hired. All right, I like you. You know, that's fine. That's fine. Tonight, I've seen rumors, I've seen stories, I've seen everything but an announcement. We're just waiting for something to happen with the Phoenix Suns, losing to the Cleveland Cavaliers by 26 points last night. Not good, not great. They were down by a whole lot more. Hey, at least we weren't the Warriors last night, but that's not the point. Something's got to change. I've seen rumors about Booker getting traded to Detroit. I've seen rumors about Bradley Beal. Now, Bradley Beal is saying, he's like, yeah, I'll waive this, but he always would, because he's even said that in the past. He's like, well, if it's where I want to go, of course I'll waive it. I mean, don't be dumb.
Yeah, and I think he wants to go to some place that's competitive. So, like, you're not going to be able to get away with trading him. I say back to the Wizards or something like that. That's not where he wants to go. But yeah, I think Bradley Beal to Detroit would be pretty fun. Actually, you might like that.
Whatever, something needs to happen soon. Just.
You're kind of at the mercy of other teams, though. That's kind of where the Suns are, because they don't have the flexibility and would need help perhaps from somebody else to maybe make a 3-team trade. Because of that, I think they're at the mercy of other teams. I think if they could trade Beal for Butler straight up tomorrow and Miami would say yes, they do it. The rumors about Ishbia having the Butler extension ready to be signed, I believe it. You just don't have the ability to make the other teams move, so you just got to sit there and wait.
Guess that's what we'll do. We're just gonna wait. In the meantime, maybe don't watch. Maybe just
or maybe they got the Nets on Wednesday. That's a bad team. Should probably beat that team. They got the Wizards again on Saturday. Probably beat them. Watch those games.
Maybe
watch those games. Don't watch them when they play apparently Cleveland.
Latino Leprechaun says, hey, my question is, what becomes of Gerard Mayo? I don't think he deserved to be canned after just one season. He has been shipped off to fight for the Ukraine, on the side of the Ukrainians, but he has been shipped off to the Ukraine. When that happens, yeah, you're no longer in the country. It's a very obscure American law.
I've never heard this law before.
Don't know that actually happened.
Prove me wrong. You seen Gerard Mayo around?
No.
It's because he's in Ukraine fighting for the Ukrainians.
Or he's home.
Can't prove that. You have any pictures of him at home?
Can't prove he's in Ukraine. Do you have any pictures of him there?
Give me a second with my AI. I'll have it ready. Wow.
Okay, so Gerard Mayo. I don't know. There are rumors that the Patriots want to keep Gerard Mayo on Mike Vrabel's staff, and there's a whole lot of FU going on there if I'm him.
Yeah,
like, what are you talking
Bye
about?
now.
You told me this was my job.
Yeah.
I waited for 3 years for it. I finally get the job. The team's bad. You know the team is bad. And then I coach your bad team. We're bad. And then you fire me? Screw you guys. What are you talking about?
Hefty Lefty says, is Vrabel going to wager one of his testicles again for a Super Bowl like he did in Tennessee? Did he actually make a bet for his testicles?
No, he didn't make a bet. Somebody asked him if you could give up one for a Super Bowl, would you? And he was like,
that's right.
Immediately. Yeah.
Yeah, he said, yes, I would. I remember that. I was like, for Tennessee?
The guy, well, it would be his Super Bowl, though. Like, doesn't matter where you're coaching. If you're the head coach, you're a Super Bowl champion coach. That being said, he didn't even wait for the guy to finish asking the question. Yeah, like the words weren't even out of the guy's mouth, and he was like, "Yes." All right, Mike. Because I would have had to think about it at least.
Yeah,
give it a thought for a few minutes. weigh the pros and cons.
You get to a certain age where you're like, yeah, it's fine. Yeah,
No,
I don't need
that's
that anymore.
exactly what he said. He's like, me and my wife, we've been married a long time. We've had most of the fun we're gonna have.
Exactly. Yeah. Take it now. I don't even need the win. Just take it. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, many other things to talk about. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Order for Jennifer C.
Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double whip, double sleeve?
Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine?
Did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, really? That's great.
Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, you just said that.
Did you say I just said that?
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
I can't have any more? Why not?
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
Every morning, we rise and shine, make breakfast, and brush away the night's rest. These routines help us start the day off right. Nature-made vitamins are a simple step in that daily care regimen. Multivitamins with daily essentials, clinically studied probiotics for gut health support, magnesium to help relax the body. Nature-made is made to care for you every day. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Everybody's got a podcast these days. Comedy, politics, true crime, you name it. But how many actually teach you anything useful? Harman Solar has an entertaining podcast that is vital if you've been thinking about looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Ralph and Ben explore the intricacies of utilities, equipment, processes, and more. Their primary objective is to educate and empower you to make informed decisions on your solar journey. So increase your knowledge, not your bills. Go check it out right now. It's the Harman Solar Podcast at harmansolar.com.
Make extra money daily from your sports betting? Dylan Cohen from Beat the Book here. I'm always about finding ways to take sports betting to the next level. And that's exactly why I'm pumped to tell you about Edge Boost, the financial platform that pays you cash back to wager. Edge Boost is an online bank account that pays you for every deposit. With the Edge Boost Visa debit card, you're getting up to 0.5% cash back on all of your sportsbook, daily fantasy site, and casino transactions. That's free money back in your pocket just for doing what you're already doing. It's a no-brainer. Plus, your Edge Boost debit card starts with a $250,000 daily limit, and it will never be declined for gambling activity. They've got built-in tools to help you stay responsible, and there's absolutely no hidden fees or minimum required balances. So stop leaving money on the table. Visit edgeboost.bet to learn more and sign up today. That's edgeboost.bet. Once again, edgeboost.bet.
Sunday morning, catch live NFL coverage on The Fanatic.
It all comes down to this. When the upstart Washington Commanders take on the Philadelphia Eagles in Philadelphia for the NFC Championship and a trip to the Super Bowl. Tune in at high noon to catch all the action live.
Your home for live NFL action, the playoffs, and Super Bowl 59. 1580 The Fanatic.
Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. You know what? Them lemon Oreos are actually pretty damn good. Have you had the lemon Oreos?
No, I have not.
Yeah, they're just yellow cookies with the filling. Whole lot of lemon. A lot of lemon going on there.
So
And they're very good.
The outside's lemon and the inside's lemon?
Something like that. Just
Wow.
try them. They're really good.
Wow.
Lemon.
Okay.
Rainy
right.
City Bitch Pigeon says, do it, Vegas. Hire Pete. Talking about Pete Carroll, I think. He's the perfect metaphor. There's lots of chaos, and somehow you think you got a shot to win, and then you lose everything. And once every 15 years, you'll hit the jackpot. Well, that, I guess, is the Seahawks story in a nutshell from a Seahawks fan there. Are they saying Pete Carroll is getting hired? Is that
the Raiders are targeting Pete Carroll? He's the front runner right now. So we'll see how that goes.
There's a point where we'll be targeting anyone who says yes. But at this moment, Pete Carroll, I mean, listen, he looked pretty good. He looked pretty good when he last coached.
for a 72-year-old guy. He's chewing his gum, doing his thing, taking off his shirt, going, but he's getting up there in years.
He is, but I think that when you have a guy like that, just having him in there to change the culture, I think matters a lot. Go
ahead, Kim.
Yeah, I just like once he changes the culture, if he's struggling to win, then you can try to find a coach to build on that. But getting him in there just to make the Raiders a serious organization again, because right now it doesn't feel like it. They're trying to be. The effort is actually being put in to be that, but they're not quite there right now.
I feel like the only time he took off his shirt, though, Jeffrey, was when DL Warnke came in. That flashy, big-bodied wide receiver.
You mean DK Metcalf?
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. Yeah. DK Metcalf, when he came in, he took his shirt off as sort of a joke. And so Pete ripped his shirt off and is like, I'll show you what's up here, Jack. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm all for that. I mean, old guys rule, man. Listen, Pete Carroll whips his shirt off when what's his name again?
DK Metcalf.
DK Metcalf. All right. Yeah. So
Short
he
for
comes
DK.
in all he's all what do you call that? Stove. What is that? Do you lift, bro? And then Pete does that. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. No, that was right there. That was old guys rule right there. That was Pete Carroll showing.
But that was a few years ago.
Yes.
Now here we are today. If he still has the energy, if he still has, power to him.
I think he does. Like the way things ended in Seattle, it's more he got pushed out than he wanted to quit coaching.
I don't think he wanted to leave.
He still wanted to coach. To be clear, he just got pushed out, and sometimes it's like that. The contract was up. There's a little bit of a power struggle between him and the general manager. The general manager won, and then went and found his guy to replace him, and found a younger coach to try and keep this thing fresh and rolling. And at least year one for Seattle, that defense is legit. So maybe they made the right call.
JG Wentworth says, "Hey, no, Hefty, it was DK Metcalf." Ringless Joe has finally surfaced. Ringless Joe, Detroit Lions fan, has finally surfaced.
Yeah.
He says it hurts.
Yeah.
But I'll always love the Lions. Bandwagoners can move on, but I love the Lions when Joey Harrington was the quarterback. I loved them when Dan Orlovsky was the quarterback. I love the Lions, and I got nothing but respect for those players on the team and the season they gave me, even despite falling short.
Oh,
hurts.
I know.
But at least you don't have to change your text or nickname now.
No.
There's the good news. You get to keep being Ringless Joe.
Brutal.
I'm just trying to show him the bright side,
I know.
silver lining.
It is. It's true.
That was a tough loss, man. I'm sorry.
Moist one says, one person left Ichiro off their Hall of Fame ballot. Some of these writers are such jokes. Ichiro is, but he made it, right? So,
but still, that should be unanimous.
Maybe he took that one guy's parking spot one time.
Maybe.
I can't tell.
I doubt that.
Why wouldn't you? I
can't think of a good reason.
I think what it is because he chose to have a Suzuki instead of a Toyota. You see what I'm saying?
So if it's Ichiro Toyota, you feel like he'd have gotten, Suzuki were cool bikes, man. Back in the day.
My sources are telling me that was his last name, so never mind.
Yeah, okay. He was pretty good. Yeah, he was pretty
good. He was damn good.
He was really good.
Pretty good. Yeah, he was.
Hefty Lefty says, this was the latest the pain has hit in a long time, Ringless Joe. Maybe next year it'll come 1 or 2 weeks later than this year.
Damn.
It was a surprise.
That doesn't help.
It was surprised that they went out as early as they did. Said anyone who's not a Lions fan. The Lions fans were like, just when we convinced ourselves it wouldn't happen that way.
Yeah, it happened.
It happened that way.
Yeah, though, like when you look back on it, like I don't know how surprised to be. That defense,
yeah, everybody was just gone.
nobody. And I think it was fair to assume that the offense was good enough to make up for it. But at some point, you do have to stop people in this sport. You can't, you can't have a team not punt when they play you. You do have to stop somebody. And when you're hurt like that, you just can't.
When your practice squad is on crutches.
Yeah. It's a mash unit of a defense. It's not, you know. It's,
yeah.
I hope you guys are healthier next year.
Yeah. So speaking of next year, oh, hold on. Ringless Joe says, on a more analytical note, I noticed that every quarterback who had a bad game is out of the playoffs today. The league isn't kind to any mistake in a big game. Even Mayfield and Lamar lost because of one fumble. It's not, no. It was not one fumble. It was not because Mark Andrews couldn't handle the ball. Lamar fumbled it once. Then actually Mark Andrews fumbled it once. It was not one fumble. It was a handful of mistakes.
And he was saying if the quarterback played badly, which I don't know if you could say Lamar played badly, but he did fumble and he did throw a pick. So there's 2 turnovers there. And then Jared had the worst day of his season and maybe even his career that day.
I don't know what you guys expect out of Jared. He's almost 80. He's 80 years old.
Jared.
Oh,
Goff.
Never mind. I'm sorry.
Different guy. Jared hasn't been this far in the playoffs in a long time. There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way we were talking about him.
Latina Leprechaun says, who's the idiot that left? How do you say it? Is it Ichiro?
Yeah, Ichiro Suzuki.
Ichiro Suzuki.
I always get it wrong. But who left Suzuki off their all-star ballot and voted for the former Arizona Diamondbacks closer, Fernando Rodney, instead? Is that what they did, really?
Oh, my God. I sure hope not. That you fire that person. You're not allowed. We take your vote away.
What's that? I'm being told it's beat the books, Dylan Cohen.
Oh,
that's
man.
why. Okay.
Yeah, so take it up with him.
You still shouldn't have a vote if you do that, Dylan.
Come
We're
on,
going to have to talk about this
Dylan.
tomorrow.
Hefty Lefty says, I meant that as nice as I could. Usually the Lions fans don't get to experience pain this late in the year. Hell of a season after a good season last year. Hopefully for them, their trajectory continues. And they just lost their best coordinators, so who knows, man? This window is either still open or it's still closed, and we won't know until we see what kind of team they put together next year.
Yep, you're right.
Lacrosse guy says, Bills Commandos in the Super Bowl. Bills get revenge from the 1992 Bowl. Sorry, Keon.
I'm not even thinking about the Super Bowl, man.
Ringless Joe says, here's my Cope comment. Maybe Goff's nerves were too high and Teddy Bridgewater would have been a better quarterback to finish the game. No.
I'm sorry.
Something was wrong with Jared Goff. I think there was something. He was shook. He was pale. He just was like, he didn't look normal. But no, not Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater went in there during the concussion check and handed off the ball like a champ. Good job, Teddy. Now go sit down. That's as much as you can expect. D-Banks After Dark says, hello, fanatics. Just turned on the radio. Catch me up. What has the Dallas Cowboys screwed up this week? We haven't really been paying any attention to them.
Nothing yet. So their leading head coaching candidate is Brian Schottenheimer, who is
is that relation to Marge Schottenheimer?
Yeah, he's Marty's son.
Man, that Marge though. Marge Schottenheimer, the former owner of something.
I think it's Marge.
Who am I
Schott.
thinking of?
Marge Schott.
Who's that racist old lady?
Marge Schott.
Oh, okay. I'm getting some people confused right now. My bad.
On the Reds.
But Brian is the son of Marty Schottenheimer.
His name is my name too.
Marty Schottenheimer Smith. Yeah.
Who's Schottenheimer again? I don't remember.
He's a great coach.
Great
For who?
coach. Well, he coached the 40 not 49ers. Well, yeah, the 49ers. He coached the Chargers. He coached
he coached Washington at one point. He had the one 500 season they had in a sea of losing seasons, and Dan Snyder fired him because he just didn't like him. After 1 year, like, oh look, the team might actually be good, and then Dan Snyder fired because he's Dan Snyder.
Hey, did you hear Brittany Griner's shopping around trying to find a new team? She's like, I'm going to go ahead and check out free agency.
I understand. No, I won't say anything. I was going to say.
Yeah, you probably better not.
Yeah, you probably should. Yeah,
that's fine.
Well, good for her.
Hefty Lefty says, did you see that stat that apparently now the Commanders have made the NFC Championship? Every team in the NFC has made the NFC title game since 1996. Not you, Cowboys.
Ouch. Yep. Because I know that stat because, you know, when you're on a list of 2 teams and you're one of the teams, you know. So when you're finally off the list, oh, Dallas. Oh, Dallas.
Oh. Lacrosse guy says Goff got a concussion on the pick. Dude looked like that before the alleged concussion. He was not right before that play. I was sitting there looking at him like, man, he don't look right.
Yeah, because I don't know I don't know. I didn't notice that he looked
rattled
different.
and pale. Like something was up. I think we're gonna find out something was up. I don't know. Devil Hawk says, I for one would like to hear Randy's Brittany Griner joke.
No, I'm not going to say it. I learned a long time ago in radio. If you have this feeling in the pit of your stomach, keep your mouth shut.
Burger Wolf says the only thing the Lions are going to be biting next year is the stuck toilet paper from the bottom of Packer fans. I can't read all of this. Chief Skull says, can anyone predict the Dodgers' next signing that'll take their payroll to $10 billion?
Well, I heard they were chasing that closer. I can't think of his name right now, but they were chasing that closer. They were willing to overpay him.
Latino Leprechaun, did you really hear that? Latino Leprechaun says, pretty sure I heard that Jared Goff was suffering from food poisoning the night before the game. Might explain why he looks so pale. Is that real? Because I don't remember hearing that. If you heard that, I'd like to see.
You'd think that one would be around.
I think they'd be talking about that. Would make a lot of sense, though. Fighting Wampa says the Cowboys are trying to hire the guy who made the atom bomb. They don't need any help with that. No. That was Oppenheimer, not Schottenheimer. Different, totally different guy. Also, the other guy's dead. Ringless Joe says, man, it just hurts to lose, man. I don't care if you're the 7 seed, 6 seed, 5 seed, 1 seed, because I've lost all of them damn near, and it stings, says Dan Campbell. And it hurts. It hurts.
Yeah. The Dodgers are looking to bring in 2-time All-Star reliever Kirby Yates.
Why not?
According to MLB Network insider John Heyman.
Chief Skull says, nope, they just signed him.
Oh, they already signed him?
According to Chief Skull, who
Tanner Scott, they signed Tanner Scott.
Don't know how reliable an insider Chief Skull is, but he seems pretty sure.
I didn't see anything about the Jared Goff food poisoning, so he doesn't strike me as a guy that even wants that excuse out there. But
so you're saying
I didn't see anything about it.
Is Latina Leprechaun's a big fat liar?
No, I'm saying she might have heard it.
Keon Rose just reported in to CRC Broadcasting 15A The Fanatic that Latina Leprechaun is a big fat liar.
I'm saying she may have heard it from somewhere, but not any official source.
Heard it from a friend who says Latina Leprechaun's a big fat liar. Pretty sure I heard that Jared Goff was suffering from food poisoning the night before the game. Might explain why he looks so pale. Latina Leprechaun, we're going to have to ask you to quote your sources.
Yeah, like just who did you hear it from?
That is something we never say on the show. Fighting words.
You could phrase it differently because we're not exactly known for accurate reporting around here. So
it makes it worse.
That's true. It's even more disrespectful.
Chief Skull says, per Talking Baseball, Kirby Yates has been signed by the Dodgers.
Wow. Per Facebook, Detroit Lions A to Z Sports, Carla Sistuve Campbell said Goff was up the night before with food poisoning.
Oh, so it is real.
Vomiting continuously all night with no sleep.
It says that really? For real?
According to Facebook, Detroit Lions A to Z Sports.
It's the only link that has that
Latina
story.
Leprechaun is redeemed. That's some good reporting.
There you go. That's good reporting.
If you can find one source that says it, that's enough for me.
That's a deep dive right there.
I don't even care if it's made up, as long as it's somewhere out there in one place. And Randy has read it. Randy doesn't get things wrong when he reads them. He's reading at a 6th grade level now.
Yep.
What other show can say they've got someone on their show that does that? Guys down the dial, forget it. 5th grade level at best. We got Randy at a 6th grade level.
Thank you.
Latina Leprechaun says, I heard it from Bart Winkler last night on the Infinity Sports Network.
Oh, Bart Winkler.
That's from this radio station, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe he was wrong. You stand by your reporting, Latina Leprechaun. Stand by your convictions.
If
She's saying
no, don't say maybe he's wrong. You say you side with Bart Winkler. And that way, if Bart Winkler's wrong, then you can be, I was very disappointed. You stand by it. Sir Drives a Lot says this
Winkler.
just in. Jared Goff has been sick to his stomach for days now because of that performance. That's actually accurate reporting right there.
It spread to the entire city of Detroit.
Everybody is sick. Yeah, that was a pandemic in Detroit.
And the thing is, some of those Detroit Lions fans are also Michigan Wolverine fans. And so to have the former Michigan Wolverine and national champion Mikey Sanders still intercept 2 of those passes, like that, to me, that would hurt me more than just about any other fact in that game.
There's a lot going on there. There's a lot going on there. All right, we got to take a break. We come back. Let's talk some more NFL, huh? It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
We all know just because gifts for loved ones can look like flowers, a spa day, or maybe even planning date night. But what about something that will truly last and protect your loved ones along the way? I'm talking about life insurance. I called SelectQuote to secure our coverage and couldn't believe how easy and affordable it was. I'm 40, and my $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. And with their same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. With monthly payments less than the cost of a bouquet of flowers, this is the perfect time to make sure your family is protected.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-596-2626 or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-596-2626. 1-800-596-2626. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Hey, sports fans, this is Dylan Cohen.
And I'm Keon Rose, and we're bringing you Beat the Book every weekday from 2 to 3 in the afternoon.
So if you want the latest betting picks, advice, and analysis that's sharp as a knife,
or at least sharper than Dylan's last pick on the Cardinals.
Oh, you've got jokes, huh? Well, maybe you're feeling bold now that your Commanders actually look decent this season.
Hey, even a broken clock's right twice a day, right?
Well, tune in to Beat the Book with us, Dylan Cohen and Keon Rose, every weekday from 2 to 3 on 1580 The Fanatic.
Brought to you by Sport Trade, the newest sports book in Arizona.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T.
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made
a difference for you? Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text LION to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text LION to 42424. That's LION to 42424.
Your home for sports. 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and on Sunday we've got the NFC Championship game and the AFC Championship game at noon. You got the Commanders playing the Philadelphia Eagles here on 1580 The Fanatic. Ian Eagle is doing the call. Kurt Warner is hanging out with him. And then at about 4:30 p.m., you got the AFC Championship game. It's the Bills and the Chiefs with Kevin Harlan and Devin McCourty. So there's your broadcasts right there. So if you're in the car, I think I'm going to be in the car, actually. So I'll be listening to 1580 The Fanatic for some of this. I'll be driving quickly to get to watch it. But hey, comes in handy when you can't. Yeah. You got to listen to it. So
And I like McCourty, too.
Yeah, McCourty does pretty good. I've heard him on both TV and on the radio. So anyhow, starting at noon, we got both games here on 1580 The Fanatic. One of the things that we were talking about yesterday was, some player pulled another player, I think it was Lions, crossed the goal line. And that's not the first time we've seen that in the playoffs. Actually, it was the Ravens and Bills, wasn't it? It was the Ravens and Bills when Osiris Torrance pulled James Cook across. That's what it was, right?
Right, yeah.
But then we saw it another time, and I can't remember. I thought it was the Lions. But whatever the case, they asked the officiating crew about it, and per a source with knowledge of this situation, the NFL will not be instructing officials to call, if it happens in the next two games. They're not saying, hey, guys, we need you to call that. They're not saying anything. So they might call it. They might not call it.
That's interesting.
It's up to them. Feel like maybe it shouldn't be.
I agree.
Probably should be consistent.
If that's the rule.
Are you allowed to drag a guy across the goal line behind you? No. So if you see that, throw that flag.
Yeah, that's quite literally your job.
So what they're saying is instructing them to call it now would represent too much of a change from the enforcement of the rules in the last season. So what that means is the NFL also recognizes we have not been very good at calling that all year. So becoming suddenly good at calling that now, it's inconsistent.
That's fair. That's fair. But still, that's also an admission that your officiating has been bad. It hasn't been good.
So I'm confused about something. One of the reasons that the officiating is bad is because of a lack of accountability. But the NFL proper is the most powerful, probably, sport in the world. Now, let me tell you why. Right now, the NFLPA is in disarray. They are laying people off or getting ready to, because I think they're offering them buyouts and stuff. They're trying to, thin the herd. That is a weak organization, so weak that as the NFL looks at it, they're like, well, this is the time we're going to get our 18-game season because look how weak they are. They can't stand up to us. And they're right.
Mm-hmm.
How is the referees union so powerful? The NFL can't exert some changes and will for themselves. You tell me that here's the structure of power. Referees up here, NFL here, and then the NFLPA down here. Is that it? Is that really reality?
Yeah. I think that there's a difference. Like a lot of these referees just have so many other things going on. They're good financially. in a way that like NFL players, the top guys are always fine whenever there's a lockout or, whenever, there's a strike. The guys who are highly paid, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, like, those guys are good. But there are other guys down the roster that just can't hold out. So they don't have the ability to have that strong negotiating power, no matter how much the NFLPA is like, hey guys, make sure you save up because this is what the plan is. Somebody's always running out of money at some point. And the referees don't ever have that. Like, if you notice, the referee union in like every sport is good because they're kind of at a different stage of their life. They have multiple careers, quite frankly. In addition to being NFL referees, they've got other side businesses that they do in the offseason. Some of these guys are lawyers. So they're okay financially if the NFL's like, all right, we'll lay you all off. And then you replace those guys. Remember when they replaced all the referees with scab referees, and the officiating got even worse than.
So the strength of them is what you're saying is that they all have other jobs, so they can be like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah, your ability to hold out and negotiate.
Fire their asses. Fire their asses. Okay, so here's where you combine two ideas. One, you pay them full time, but here's the thing: the money they pay the referees now is full time money for the part time job. A lot of people would love that part time job as their full time money. So what you do is you say, here are the rules. To be an NFL referee, you get no other jobs. You do this job. This is your job. Here is your year-round money. This is your job. You're not to do other jobs.
You have like a non-compete clause.
Sure. And then the other thing is there will be accountability. And if you do not perform at a rate that is acceptable, you're gone.
And you need to actually have other referees trained and ready to go so that if you have to fire somebody, you're not replacing them with somebody who's so inexperienced. Because like when they had the referee strike, maybe 10 years ago now, like they had that strike, you ended up with the Russell Wilson Fail Mary and a bunch of other iconic plays from just how bad they were, because none of those guys were trained to referee the sport at that level. They had experience in college football. Some of them had experience in high school. The NFL game moves so much faster that if you're not used to it, you're going to be bad at it. You need people trained at that level. Otherwise, you still don't have leverage.
We can sift out the people. You're like, well, geez, I make more money at my other job. Okay, well, then go enjoy it. Bye-bye. Now we're going to start training these guys, and there will be a level of professionalism that is expected, or you will be fired, that will make them, I don't know, maybe really pay attention and get better at their job. So how is it the NFL, isn't the top of the food chain on this? I mean, there's got to be accountability going all the way around. The NFLPA needs to be in better shape than they are right now. And, I get it. You need a good union to protect the workers, the referees, to a point, but sometimes that pendulum swings way too far in the opposite direction and we all lose. So I think they need to change the way they handle referees as employees, and we need to have accountability. And once you have achieved that, all the other sports can look in on that and maybe do the same thing.
Yeah, but I'm doubtful. I think that refereeing is like the one thing where like they just have the leverage already. Getting that back is going to take a lot of time, where the NFL Players Union, they're thinning it out. But over the course of my entire life, the NFL Players Union has just been losing the whole time. All the stuff that when I was a kid, they said they didn't want to do, they do now. They didn't want games on Thursdays back when that conversation originally started. They have them. They didn't want to play international games. They got them. They didn't want 17 games. They got it. Nothing that the NFL Players Union actually wanted did they ever achieve in not getting, and that's because they have far less leverage. So I don't know how the NFL is going to get that back from the referees, but unless they do, ain't nothing changing.
Moiswin says, well, it's also because Hockley is a lawyer. Yeah, and so's his dad. And guess what? So's this guy right here. My nickname for him is Reno 911 because it looks like, but that's actually Ron Torbert. And that is the referee who's going to be doing the Super Bowl this year. I have nicknames for all of them. I really probably should print them up someday. But I like Ron Torbert fine. He's also a lawyer, by the way. So, he graduated from Michigan State University, and he also went to Harvard Law. Got himself a Juris Doctor.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Man's a lawyer. Don't argue with him.
Something tells me that's not going to end well for you.
So, I mean, there's probably more than a couple lawyers who are officials in the NFL. So, not that matters to what we're talking about. Slow-Mo Zoe says the refs are told to make sure nobody breathes on Mahomes. I kind of think that might be true almost. Ringless Joe says, when halftime came, Dan Campbell should have walked up the commentary booth with $500 million in a Lions uniform, handed to Tom Brady, and said, I'll see you on the field. Should have literally hired the GOAT mid-game to save the season. Maybe we could pay him enough to suit up for next season. Have a drink, Ringless Joe.
Ringless Joe is arguing that Jared Goff was an MVP 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, you might want to sit down on that one, Joe. All right, hour 3 is up next. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Sports bettors, we've all been there. You have a live bet lined up, you check the odds one more time, place the bet only to see the bet delayed by the spinny wheel, line move, and your bet rejected. My name's Alex Kane, and I'm the founder and CEO of SportTrade, Arizona's newest sports betting app. At the core of the SportTrade offering is our probability-based odds. In other words, the Cardinals may be offered at 55% odds to win, a lot simpler than minus 125. Place your bet at 55% odds, and as your win probability changes, so does the value of your bet, giving you the ability to cash out with total control. And the best part, no spinning wheels. Live bets on SportTrade are instantly accepted. Download SportTrade on your iPhone today and use code 1580 to earn 10% cash back on every bet in your first week. Terms apply.
SportTrade is regulated by the Arizona Department of Gaming. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams winter sale and get 30% off paints and stains January 17th through the 27th. With prices starting at $34.29, it's the perfect time to transform your space with color. Whether you're looking to revamp your bedroom, living room, or home office, we have you covered with bold hues, soothing neutrals, and everything in between. Shop the sale online or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
I've just been feeling so sluggish lately. You should try the Metamucil 2-week challenge. The Metamucil 2-week challenge? Yeah, Metamucil 4-in-1 fiber helps trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Start your daily routine now, and in 2 weeks, you could be feeling great. Well, it's been 2 weeks. How you feeling? Lighter and feeling great.
If you want to feel lighter by promoting digestive health, sign up to take the 2-week challenge at Metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Make extra money daily from your sports betting? Dylan Cohen from Beat the Book here. You know, I'm always about finding ways to take sports betting to the next level. And that's exactly why I'm pumped to tell you about Edge Boost, the financial platform that pays you cash back to wager. Edge Boost is an online bank account that pays you for every deposit. With the Edge Boost Visa debit card, you're getting up to 0.5% cash back on all of your sportsbook, daily fantasy site, and casino transactions. That's free money back in your pocket just for doing what you're already doing. It's a no-brainer. Plus, your Edge Boost debit card starts with a $250,000 daily limit, and it will never be declined for gambling activity. They've got built-in tools to help you stay responsible, and there's absolutely no hidden fees or minimum required balances. So stop leaving money on the table. Visit edgeboost.bet to learn more and sign up today. That's edgeboost.bet. Once again, edgeboost.bet.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
Quiet, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what? Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. And your good friend, radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. As we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Swave Dave says, hey, what is the average salary for an NFL referee? Well, I'll tell you. It's between $205,000 and $250,000 a year. Includes their base salary and game fees. So I feel like, yeah, you could expect full-time year-round work for that much money. It's
a
like
six-figure job.
Do your thing when you're traveling and you're refereeing the games, and then the rest of the time, your ass should be in class. You should be with the other referees studying, or at least online, something. Or you're looking at game film. You're getting better at, like, oh yeah, I see I blew it there. I got to be watching for that there. There should be year-round work to fine-tune the officials in all sports, except for hockey. Hockey's fine. Chief Skull says this is why the NFL should hire him full-time, and he puts this up. Football Officiating Academy develops skills football officials at the grassroots level. What is this? I don't even know what you're showing me here, Chief Skull. I don't even know what you're trying to show me there. Let's see. Lost Toby says being a lawyer doesn't make you smart. No, doesn't make you a good lawyer either. But for the most part, you have to have some brain cells working and firing to pass the bar. I say that understanding that Kim Kardashian may have passed the bar.
Yeah, well, that's the thing with saying someone's smart or someone's dumb. It's like there's different types of intelligence, and so like
street
they're
smarts,
yeah,
book smarts.
I know plenty of people who are highly intelligent, master's degree, doctor's degree, and then you talk to them, and there's not an ounce of common sense going on in there.
Oh, Earth is flat. Okay. Hefty Lefty says, if there are this many lawyers as refs that can't figure out how to call rules consistently, it's time to reword the rules so they make sense and there's a little less subjectiveness put on the refs. Oh, yeah, I think we all can agree.
But there are some things that you can't, I don't know how you can make holding objective, for instance.
Right. It is or it isn't. And replay assist, I think, has been magnificent. I think you need to expand the scope of what replay assist and what the eye in the sky can do to say, hey, guys, yeah, you blew that one. Or, no, did you not see Goff get helmet-to-helmet contact right there? Maybe we need to do something about this. I think with the ability to look at a camera or monitors far exceeds, because remember, your eyes, you're human, you're watching, you can't see everything all at once, but our HD TVs can. So it's easier for us than it is for the referees. So if they get a little assist on the replay, expand the scope of what they are able to do. I think the person that can see the monitors should be able to throw a flag. They should take care of business right there. And then the ref's like, hell was that? They're like, yeah, you missed this. Oh, thanks, guys. But maybe that's a bad idea because too many flags.
I think so. You could call holding on every play. So there has to be
I wasn't talking about holding necessarily. I was talking about helmet to helmet contact. I think replay assist should be able to step in and say, hey guys, no helmet hit Mahomes.
Yeah, I think
probably want to pick that one up.
I think an overturn especially would be very useful in cases where the calls are just just obviously bad.
They should have the ability to make good in either direction, I think.
Yeah,
both directions.
But if you had to choose one, I'd rather choose the one where they can say, all right, no, because if you go the other way, you do run the risk of so many flags. Now you just bog the game down because they can see everything. So they're calling everything.
Maybe not on holding, but on some of these other things.
Yeah, maybe not holding, but there's a lot of subjective stuff that referees have to call over the course of an NFL game.
Big George says, point of clarification, Kim Kardashian has not passed the California General Bar exam. I thought she had. I knew she was taking it. He says, no, she passed the baby bar. She passed it in her fourth attempt, despite being the easier bar. So does that mean she's a baby lawyer? I don't know what that means. Beer Bob says, I totally agree with you, Jeffrey. I think the replay assist should be on penalties called as well, especially on those
BS roughing the passer calls on Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, you're right. I think that's the missed helmet to helmet contact on Jared Goff and the wrong call on Patrick Mahomes. Both directions. They should be able to make good on that. We just want things to be made right. You know, that's all we're asking for.
I don't know that Jared Goff got helmet to helmet, but he definitely took
took it right in the chin.
Yes, that's
the helmet right to the face mask.
Yeah,
the helmet.
Well, no, it wasn't. It wasn't the face mask. It was just literally his chin. Which I'm saying is they should still
it actually hit his chin. Same thing.
Yeah. There's no. That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
So if you're looking for specific helmet to helmet, fine. But like it was
when
just.
I say helmet to helmet, I think chin counts.
Yeah, it was just straight. Like I saw. There's a still image of it. I'm like, oh my god.
He's like. Nah.
Yeah, it's just straight up dome of helmet to neck chin area. Surprised he came back out and played.
Still, they probably should have caught that. Lost Toby says, you just have to memorize a lot. Some of the dumbest people I've met are lawyers. All right, with good memorization skills. All right. Yeah. Toby, also a lawyer. A lot of lawyers out there. We had a lot of lawyers in here.
Mm-hmm.
Chief Skull says, NFL operations puts on football officiating academy. They're already training employees. Oh, is that what that is? So they're trying to bring up new people. Right, I see. So they're starting flag football and then trying to help. They're trying to
because you've got to work your way up to just various speeds of the game. Like you might understand the rules, but there's a difference between trying to call something when you see Josh Allen flying by. It's not the same.
The Jet says, "Wow, talk about great timing. I went into the tunnel right as you were going to break, and I came out right as the third hour announcement started."
That's cool, man.
Well, it's great for you, not great for our sponsors, but yeah.
Well,
Ringless Joe says, I don't know what to make of Jared Goff, but I saw a stat that explains his overall performance. When he's not pressured, top 5 in the league in QBR, completion percentage, EPA, etc. But when he's pressured, he drops to the bottom 5 in those categories. Goff ranges from the best quarterback to the worst entirely based upon how much pressure he's under during the game, which means he needs a really good offensive line, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So make sure he never gets pressured. You might win a Super Bowl. So are you going to tell me that the defensive injuries had nothing to do with any of that? Huh. Okay.
It's just also you had less chances because your defense couldn't keep the other team off the field.
True.
And of course, the other team kept going for fourth downs over and over and over again and getting them. So the defense might have played a part in that too.
Against the Spread says, good day, gentlemen. I hope you listened to my advice on the Washington versus Detroit game. If you did, you got paid on the spread and a hefty payout on the money line. The Rams also covered, and weather did play a role in that game. Okie dokie.
Yeah, well, thank you. Is all I have to say.
Kiss the Cook says, hey, Asphalt Randy's back. You missed Chili Bowl week, dude.
Well, yes, I did. Who won? Did you know? Did you find out? Do you know who won?
What is he talking about?
Chili Bowl is a race. It's a selection of races in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and it's inside a what do you call it? A covered arena.
Kyle
so
Larson started fourth in the 25-lap preliminary event and faded back as far as 7th in the opening laps and worked his way up and won.
Wow. Kyle Larson. Okay, well, there you go. Next on the docket is the Daytona 500 coming up. But the Chili Bowl is basically midget racing. No, Jeffrey.
I gotta watch that.
No.
I'm just gonna YouTube that. Quiet Cannon says a defensive player gets blocked into a quarterback and they call roughing the quarterback. That's bad. Well, no, yeah, that shouldn't happen. But that's not what happened with that player that put his helmet right up into Goff's face, though.
Though that's the reason why there is a reason why Peyton Manning and Tom Brady back in the day, you throw an interception, get out of the way. What are you gonna do there but get hurt?
Yeah, you didn't have to tell them twice.
And I think referees also get a little bit more lenient with that because technically now you are attempting to be a tackler. still shouldn't have that contact, but you're not protected under the typical quarterback rules. Don't go in there, man. What was Jared Goff going to do?
I don't think he was trying to do anything. I think he just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time.
He ran that direction.
Did he really?
He did.
Well, that's dumb.
I mean, because I watch the highlights a lot because I'm happy. But yeah, he ran that. He ran that direction.
Memorized every play.
Yeah, I have actually.
No, I didn't see the part where he was running that direction. I just thought he got caught up in the wave of bodies.
No, he ran. I mean, as fast as Jared Goff can run, he ran that way.
Not good.
Granted, still shouldn't have happened.
Swave Dave says if Goff makes it the playoffs again, he needs someone to test his blood for 48 hours beforehand. The Jet says for the first time ever. And Thinky Wheel. It sounds like it might be an exciting text, but knowing the Jet, it's probably going to be a great disappointment.
Damn.
That's just from past experience, man. And I feel like the text line is trying to protect me from the rest of the text because it's not going to let me see it. So I'm going to move on. Ringless Joe says, can you win the Super Bowl without an elite quarterback? Who's the least elite quarterback who ever won it? Yes, you can win the Super Bowl without an elite quarterback. And it has happened.
Well, obviously, the first example anybody gives is Trent Dilfer.
Exactly.
If you have a good enough defense, you don't need an elite quarterback to win a Super Bowl. If you have a great running game and a great defense, if your quarterback doesn't turn the ball over, that works. You can do that.
Listen, the Broncos won a Super Bowl with Peyton Manning. Now he's an elite quarterback, but he wasn't that year. I mean, they were throwing old Osweiler in there for a bunch of games because of the injuries that he had. And when he came in and won that Super Bowl, he was a game manager more than an elite quarterback.
Yeah.
So technically, at that moment, they won without an elite quarterback.
And when Peyton Manning won in Indianapolis, the quarterback across from him was Rex Grossman. I mean, Rex Grossman almost won a Super Bowl. That's
hard.
Nearly happened. So,
Hurts my soul.
Yeah, you got guys like Blake Bortles and the Jags were one half away from beating Tom Brady's Patriots and going to the Super Bowl. Like, you can do it if your defense is good enough and your quarterback doesn't ruin you.
I've got some interesting things happening on the text line. Finally, I can read the Jets text. For the first time ever, putting in my picks, I got them all right last week. Got all my picks correct. Yeah, that's only 4 picks, Jed. It's not that. I think you might have been the only one who got them all right. Most people got 3 out of 4 or 2 out of 4, but it's really not as impressive as a regular season thing, Jet. But I mean, if you're happy, I'm happy. And then Whistling Gerbil says, trade alert. Okay.
You want to include the trade in the rest of that text, or you're just going to say trade alert and you're supposed to guess?
Something's happening. Wait, here it is. Phoenix Suns are trading their 2031 unprotected first to the Utah Jazz for 3 first-round picks. Suns are acquiring the least favorable firsts in 2025 of Cleveland, Minnesota, 2027 of Cleveland, Minnesota, Utah, and 2029 of Cleveland, Minnesota, Utah. According to a source familiar with the Heat's plans, this is one of the steps towards the Jimmy Butler trade.
Gotcha. Yeah, because Miami wants a lot back. This is a little bit of instead of waiting for a trade partner, I guess we'll do it ourselves. Get enough picks to make Miami happy.
Wow, this reminds me. Hey, Randy, remember the TV show MASH?
Yes.
And remember when Hawkeye wanted a weekend,
yes,
in the city, and so he goes and says, "Hey, can you cover my shift?" He says, "I'll cover your shift if you get that guy over there to get me some cookies." And then he goes to the guy. He's like, "Hey, can I get some cookies?" He says, "I'll give you cookies if you get that girl over there to go on a date with me." And he goes to the girl and says, "Hey, if you go on a date with that guy so I can get this, and then then she says, well, I'll do that, but if I can get that night off." That is what this reminds me of. Yeah, this is like an old episode of MASH.
That is all NBA trades are.
This one really, it seems like a lot of heavy lifting, man.
Yeah,
Doesn't it seem excessive?
It's not.
Are we that desperate for Jimmy Butler? I guess we are.
Because they need to change something. And Matt Ishbia is not going to wave the white flag. All this money that this man spent when he showed up, he's not willing to say this is not working. So, I mean, he's willing to admit it's not working, but he's not willing to say this can't be a championship. So he's going to wheel and deal and do whatever it takes to get Miami what they want so that they can get Jimmy Butler and kind of get out of the Beal contract. It's a 2-for-1 as far as they're concerned.
But man, if this doesn't work,
okay, then you'll figure out what happens then. But sitting around and not doing anything is not going to help you.
But this might be too much. Chief Skull says Phoenix Suns now have no control over their first round picks for 7 years with this trade. This is going to put them in the basement for years if it doesn't work.
That was kind of already true though. Like they didn't control their picks for 6 years. Now you've just added one more. So
Slim Pickens hat says the girl wanted a hairdryer.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You remembered. Oh.
What?
In MASH.
Oh my God. I sort of made all of that up out of just the vague memory of the episode.
Yeah, that he's specifically remembered.
That's funny.
She wanted the hairdryer.
I should have looked it up. Big George says, I hate this move. The Suns are further mortgaging their future for another first round playoff exit. Stop the madness. Blow it up. Okay, stop, George. Just
again, blow it up for what?
This is kind of an extreme move. You should be happy with this extreme move. The Jet says, hey, Randy, if you want to see some really good dirt track racing, head down to Casa Grande this weekend. They're hosting the Late Model Nationals.
Oh, no kidding. Oh, man.
Casa Grande's all right. I mean, it's dangerously closer to Tucson than we are.
Yeah, but Casa Grande's got a dirt track. We don't have one.
Yeah, they got a dirt track.
I mean, I guess we do, technically.
Mm-hmm.
But
I got 2 Joes. I just realized that. I got Ringless Joe and Average Joe. Average Joe, meet Ringless Joe. You guys should be friends. No, you should be best friends.
I'm not going to lie. There was a good long while before it took me a while before I realized those were 2 different people.
We got a couple of Joes.
And then one day they texted on the same day and I was like, oh,
right.
That's a different guy.
Right? That's what? Ringless Joe says, well, the Bears were idiots for firing Grossman right after that Super Bowl. He was good. Hell, I still think Sam Darnold's good. You can't grade a player based on one bad game because every quarterback has a bad game.
I disagree. Rex Grossman was not good. Do you know how I know Rex Grossman was not good? Who was he the quarterback for next?
No.
Oh, my team. That's right. Where he threw just 1.5 million interceptions. Do not know. No, he was not good. He was not good. Don't do that.
Yeah, Ringless Joe. You should probably have kept that one to yourself. Average Joe says, I'm so sick of these baseball writers in the Hall of Fame votes. Ichiro was absolutely 100% Hall of Fame player. I heard writers say they knew a player was going to get in anyway, so they gave their vote to someone else. Just give it to the guys who absolutely should be in.
Yeah.
It's not the Hall of Very Good. It's the Hall of Fame, man. It's just
they've brought in 3 people from the vote. CC Sabathia, Billy Wagner, and Ichiro Suzuki will be enshrined in eternity in the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame. That was the vote today, and I guess people are saying things about how the writers go about this. Again, these should be the best. I think the players and the coaches should be a part of this. I think GMs should be the ones that but not baseball writers. Just because they cover the sport doesn't make them experts on what makes a great ball player. And this is why you get some of these guys that give up their votes. It's just ridiculous. Just ridiculous.
T-Licious, he tried to tell me about this trade going on much earlier than anyone else, and so thanks for that. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, I don't know, we're talking other stuff, more stuff, different stuff than this stuff, maybe then somebody will text in about this stuff. We'll talk about this stuff again, but I'm tending to talk about new stuff when we come back. So whatever happens, stuff. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Brought to you by G-Bank. Earn cashback rewards on every eligible gaming transaction. vsin.com/GBank. Subject to credit approval. Terms and conditions apply.
College football, the Ohio State Buckeyes winning the national title Monday night, 34-23 over Notre Dame, as college football completes the first year of the 12-team playoff. For Ohio State, it was their 6th national title and the first since 2014. Looking ahead to the 2025 national champion, Texas is the betting favorite. The Longhorns are plus 450. They lost in the Cotton Bowl to Ohio State, while the Buckeyes are plus 500 to repeat as national champions. The Georgia Bulldogs are plus 600. Oregon and Penn State are both at plus 750. Alabama at plus 1,300. And Notre Dame is at plus 1,800. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down. Slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pegol is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Paid for by Estella's Pharma.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. Babbel is designed with you in mind. From expert-created lessons to conversational video units and even live classes, you can personalize your Babbel experience to be exactly what you need to really learn a new language more easily. Go ahead, set a goal for yourself. Accomplish it with Babbel. Try Babbel for free. Go to BABBEL.com. That's Babbel.com.
Let's say you've got questions. You're looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Well, Harmon Solar has the answers. Hi, I'm Jeffrey O'Brien, and listen, there's a couple of ways you can go here. One, visit harmonsolar.com, browse around, because right across the page, they got links to all sorts of great information, like frequently asked questions, equipment, tax credits, even testimonials. Or just give them a call, 800-281-3189. Ask them directly. They'd love to hear from you. That's 800-281-3189. Or just go to harmonsolar.com.
My name is Mary Grace. There are a few misconceptions about Alzheimer's. It's not just memory loss. It's the loss of mobility, the risk of falling.
For more information, contact the Alzheimer's Association at alz.org, sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
We put you so close to the game, you can almost smell the sweat.
Ooh, awkward.
GCU basketball is live on the Fanatic.
Saturday night, the GCU men's basketball team continues their road trip when they take on Utah Tech live from St. George, Utah, Burns Arena. Tip times at 7 p.m.
Michael Potter and Paul Coro have the call live for GCU basketball on 1580 The Fanatic and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
The Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Now I'm mad. Now I'm angry.
What's got you going now, Jeffco?
Netflix is raising prices after reporting its biggest ever subscriber jump. They got 20 million people. So instead of being like, hey, glad we got more money, they're like, oh, and now we're raising everybody's rates. So without advertisements, it is going from $15.49 to $17.99. So they're going to raise you up $2.50 there. And then, the standard account with ads, that's going up $1 to $7.99. And then the highest price premium tier, which has 4K video quality, they're raising that up $2 to $24.99. I don't think I've got the 4K version. I hope I don't. I don't know. But I just I didn't ask for the Jake Paul BS fighting fiasco with Mike Tyson. I didn't ask for that. I didn't ask you to spend all that money on Squid Game. I didn't ask for WWE Raw live broadcasts. I didn't ask for none of that crap. This really, if I have the 4K version, I'm downgrading. Let's be honest. It doesn't matter. It's 4K is not that ooh, has anybody gotten visually erect from watching the 4K? I don't think it's that big a deal.
I mean,
my TV
my
is
TV,
4K.
I can't tell. So
my TV's 4K. If I'm watching something that is just regular high def, I'm still happy. I'm not. If it's a $10 or $8 difference between the $17.99 and the $24.99, hell with that. I ain't paying for that. I ain't paying for that. I don't know. That's price. The prices keep going up and up with the Netflix. You keep pushing me, Netflix. You keep pushing me. You see what happens. I'll cancel.
Well, I'll tell you, Netflix, I wouldn't fool around. Jeffrey means it.
I've had Netflix since they were mailing stuff to me. That's how long I've had Netflix. They would mail you the DVDs.
And I remember that.
You'd send it back and they'd send you another one.
Because they'd mail you video games too.
No, Moist One. When I said visually erect, I didn't mean like that. I mean erect in my eyes have boners. I just don't want to forget I said anything. Moist One. Forget I said anything. Anyway, Against the Spread says, as a Bears fan, I'm very disappointed with their head coaching hire. Really? We got another offensive coordinator with no head coaching experience or leadership skills. Ben Johnson not bringing Detroit's O-line with him, and you can't run his offense with a terrible O-line. The reason teams like Detroit and Philly are good is because they have hardcore beasts up front. We need a leader.
Okay.
That changes the culture. McCarthy would have been perfect. He's a leader, knows the offense, has a proven track record as a coach, especially in the division. By the way, who the hell said Rex Grossman was a good quarterback? He was the sole reason we lost that Super Bowl. Public service message: don't do drugs, boys and girls.
Yeah, the Rex Grossman motto back in the day was "F it, we're going deep." Like, he just didn't matter if it was triple coverage down the field. He was going to pull, and he had a big arm. But it's like, if you're throwing it in between three guys, you're going to lose. But also, no, I don't think that Ben Johnson is going to be unable to help the Bears. Yes, he can't bring the offensive line with him, but can he scheme things better so that the throws are quicker for Caleb? Because that helps you too. You know, like I hate to point it out, but like, you look at Jaden Daniels, it's not like the Commanders got this infinitely better offensive line than the one they had last year. It's not a good line. Outside of Sam Cosmi, it ain't great. However, say whatever you want about Cliff, the scheme gets the ball out of Jaden's hands quickly. He makes quick decisions, and part of that is the coaching. And I think Ben Johnson can do that for Caleb Williams, who, by the way, was sacked the most of anybody in football. And when that happens, a lot of that's on the offensive line, but a lot of it's on the quarterback too. You have to get rid of the football or you're going to get killed.
I didn't hear a word you said, because all I could think is once you said Cosme was the Cosme Show. I started just thinking, that's all I could think of the entire time. I mean, everyone else heard you, but that was just in my head. Anyway, sorry. Whistling Gerbil says, driving. Okay, don't text in anymore, but thank you. Okay. Chief Skull says, Phoenix Suns now have no control. Oh, did I read that? I read that. I already read that. Ringless Joe says, to be fair, I thought Dan Orlovsky was a good quarterback as a kid, but only because he was my quarterback. I just thought he got unlucky a lot back then. No, he was not very good. By the way, here's how you know Rex Grossman was no good, because he's not on TV. That's how bad he was.
That's true. You went to a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
You should be able to turn that into something. Mark Sanchez
Yeah.
turned his AFC title appearances into something. You could have done it.
Yep.
Oh, I thought Sanchez was on TV because of the butt fumble.
No, I mean,
you mean like a punchline, huh?
Yeah.
Devil Hawk, Moist One tried to make that joke. Yes, I get it. 4K porn. Moving on. T-Bone says, time to blow up the Suns, get all the picks you can, try again in 4 to 5 years, not 10 to 15 years when this doesn't work.
Guys, they don't control their picks for the next 7. If you blow it up now, you're not getting back in 4 to 5.
And
It
by the
will
way,
be 10.
Did you guys not hear in this deal, they actually end up with 3 picks?
Well,
they didn't have before.
Yeah. Now, do they keep them or do they give them to
No,
Miami?
you're right. Yeah, I see what you're
And
saying.
how many of them do they keep?
Oh, yeah.
And or give to Miami? I try to
Probably
keep one.
none. Probably none.
Probably none because they don't have any leverage and everybody knows they want Jimmy.
A lot of people are talking about what if this doesn't work?
Yeah, we're screwed.
What if it does work?
Well, that was kind of the thought with Kevin Durant. What if it does work? And then Bradley Beal. But what if it does work?
Yeah,
it
well,
keeps
but-
not working.
Well, I understand that, but Bradley Beal, come on, man. That was not a good pickup. I didn't like the Bradley Beal pickup.
Kyle G
says that was a bad deal.
I agree with the idiot Bears fan. Whoa, timeout. Kyle G. No. We don't need to be calling other fans idiot. Now, here's the thing. Do you mean idiot Bears and he's a fan, or is he an idiot Bears fan? You know, the one is insulting his team. The other one is directly insulting him. And I'd be careful with that. He says they should have gotten Mike McCarthy, and the Vikings should have get Aaron Rodgers. Lions should let some guys go in free agency as well, preferably some linemen. Sounds like you're just trying to get some.
Yeah, he's a Packers fan.
Ringless Joe says, I didn't mean Rex made it to didn't Rex make it to a Super Bowl? Doesn't that take some skill at the quarterback position to win the NFC Championship game and be at the Super Bowl?
No, because that defense was so good. It didn't actually matter what Rex did. You remember Brian Urlacher at his prime in the middle of that defense was suffocating. Absolutely not.
By the way,
he's our example of average quarterback that winds up in the Super Bowl. That's how we started talking about this.
When we had Urlacher on the show in person, in studio, I made sure and wore my Colts gear. Yeah.
I'm sure
my Colts beat him.
I'm sure he was thrilled to see that.
He had a little edge to him. I'm not going to lie to you. Ringless Joe says, I already read that. Big George says, Keon, you trade Book, KD, and Beal. You get some first-round picks back and start rebuilding now. You keep doing these moves, and yes, you're right. You won't be good for 7 years.
I mean, you don't have. I mean, sure, but you can't say 4 to 5. Even if you blow it up now, it's not 4 to 5. It's longer than that.
Heavy Metal
6.
Maniacs.
I said it's
a 6. I say 6.5.
It's still not great. Because now
Price is Right rules. I win.
We're at the level of greater than half a decade. So what are we doing?
What have we been doing?
Just ride it out and see if the damn thing will work. Because no matter which way it goes, it's gonna be a long time before you're good. You might as well figure and see if it actually can work. Because if it doesn't, what do you have to lose at this point? The time to say no was a long time ago.
Randy and I are running out of time.
Well,
you know
me
what I mean?
faster than you. But,
Well, I mean,
yeah.
you're in the car ahead of me, but I'm right
Yeah.
behind you, man.
All right.
Just like to see the Suns get it right for once, please. Heavy Metal Maniac says Mike McCarthy's not the problem. Problem with the Cowboys is Jerry Jones. He's an idiot. They'll never win a Super Bowl game until he gives up the team. Well, Mike McCarthy, when in place, is a problem. He's not. I don't care for him at all. Ringless Joe says my Suns are sunk. I wish they would have just stuck with the finals team they had originally. I miss Chris Paul. Well, I miss not so much Chris Paul, but the other guys that they gave up. But you know what? Here we are. You know what I mean? We can't look back. Got to look forward and hope that the grown-ups in the room maybe get some some stuff done, and maybe the non-grown-ups realize maybe they should be quiet. Hueso Grande says, watching how good the Commandos are, I can't believe the Cardinals also had Kingsbury and a Heisman-winning quarterback. What a joke. The difference is the Heisman-winning quarterback for the Commanders, 6'4". That's the difference.
I don't think that's the only difference.
It's the difference.
It's really not the only difference.
If you give Kyler Murray 6'4", he's better than Jaden Daniels.
I disagree. And the reason I disagree is because the work ethic of Jaden Daniels is, quite frankly, absurd, where Kyler Murray has a clause in his contract that says that he has to actually watch the film that he's supposed to watch. And I think that Kyler Murray, look, I don't know that him being taller doesn't hurt, of course, but he would be a much better quarterback if he did his job to the point where people didn't feel like they needed to contractually obligate him to do it.
Yeah, I was just screwing with it. I don't really believe that. I'm just screwing with it.
You got a film clause in your contract. No, I've never seen that in my entire life.
Kyler Murray, taller would be better than he is, but no, there's a huge difference between Jaden Daniels and Kyler Murray, even outside of the height. Uh-oh, here we go. Against the Spread says, is some fool on the text line trying to call me an idiot? Tell that joker to fade my picks and see how that turns out for him. I'll see him at the homeless shelter when I donate some of my winnings to charity. Yeah, that's the thing, Kyle. Against the Spread is very, very good at the gambling. He's very smart with the picks. He does know what he speaks of. And then what's even funnier about that is you could have agreed with him without calling him an idiot Bears fan. So you might want to clarify, do you mean he's an idiot who is a Bears fan, or he's a fan of them idiot Bears? Just saying, before this turns into something. We don't need diss tracks like Kendrick Lamar and Drake going back and forth between Kyle G and Against the Spread.
Right?
Ringless Joe says, the crazy thing is, if KD and Booker were teleported to the finals, they'd probably win. But the problem is just getting them there.
Which is why you have a regular season.
Buffalo Mike says, Ishbia is running the Suns like Woody Johnson's kids run the Jets. They got no rebounding, no rim protectors, and awful perimeter defense. Other than that, well, they're just swell. It's a good text. That's a good text. My God, the time has flown. We have to take a break. When we come back, we've got On This Date in Big Georgia's sports history. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
Sometimes I struggle to get to sleep. My body stopped for the day, but my mind is still running. So I take ZzzQuil.
ZzzQuil, the world's #1 sleep aid brand, has a range of non-habit-forming products to fit you and your family's needs. Invest in a great night's sleep for the best you tomorrow.
I'm awake and ready to take on anything.
Better days start with ZzzQuil nights. Explore our products at ZzzQuil.com. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
All right, so there we were, cruising through the new open-air zoo when I realized that the park was closing in like 15 minutes. That's when the afternoon took an exciting turn. Luckily, we were in my Nissan Rogue. With its powerful DC turbo engine, well, we had more than enough time to see all the animals. Whoa! And outrun a few!
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Now, Nissan offers 6 vehicles starting under $30,000 MSRP. Shop at your local Nissan store or at nissanusa.com. 2024 Nissan Altima, Kicks, Leaf, Rogue, Sentra, and Versa. All prices are manufacturer suggested retail price. Manufacturer suggested retail price excludes destination and handling charges, tax, title, license, and options. Dealer sets actual prices.
Looking for a gift for your kids or loved ones? Consider getting them something they'll use for the rest of their lives. An education. Open an AZ 529 education savings plan today. Contribute just $50 a month, and they'll have nearly $20,000 by graduation. Plus, your money grows tax-free and can be used for college, vocational school, or workforce training. An AZ 529 account will help them unwrap their full potential. Learn more at az529.gov.
This message is sponsored by the Office of the Arizona State Treasurer.
Let's say you've got questions. You're looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Well, Harmon Solar has the answers. Hi, I'm Jeffrey O'Brien, and listen, there's a couple of ways you can go here. One, visit harmonsolar.com, browse around, because right across the page, they got links to all sorts of great information, like frequently asked questions, equipment, tax credits, even testimonials. Or just give them a call, 800-281-3189. Ask them directly. They'd love to hear from you. That's 800-281-3189. Or just go to harmonsolar.com.
1580 The Fanatic and at 1580thefanatic.com.
Your home for sports.
Hey, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Kyle G says, my apologies for calling a fellow texter an idiot. Okay. Okay, so you did mean he was an idiot Bears fan. Oh. But he apologizes. So, okay. It seems like there should have been more of that apology, maybe? Is that enough apology, you think?
No, I think he was quick to apologize. Sure.
Yeah. All right, well, that's up to against the spread. We'll see. I mean, we don't need you people fighting with each other. We just don't.
No, we don't need this.
I got enough problems in my life. So Tom Brady tops the list of quarterbacks with the most postseason wins, as you'd expect.
Yeah.
And Patrick Mahomes is the only active player who's even close. How close is he? Brady won 35 postseason games. Mahomes has 16. That is less than half the Brady's total. So he's got a long way to go, but he's on track. He is on track.
Yeah, I mean, the way this team keeps showing up in the playoffs, yeah, he'll make that up.
No, what I'm saying is it took Brady 10 seasons to get 16 wins. Mahomes has gotten to that in 8 seasons.
Wow.
So he's on track to actually pass Tom Brady if they continue to have the success. Now, the success of Tom Brady is not Tom Brady's alone. It has a lot to do with the defense and the offense and the this and the that and the team. Mm-hmm. So as long as the Chiefs continue to be a dominant team, then yeah, it looks like, Patrick Mahomes should do all right. Last couple of seasons, the offense hasn't exactly been the strongest point for the Chiefs. So I don't know. I mean, This season, how much do you credit Patrick Mahomes for their wins and losses?
A lot. Because I think when you have games
I thought the defense is the dominant defense. Patrick Mahomes is doing just enough to win the game.
Yeah, but look at that offense. I'm sorry. There's not a lot of quarterbacks you're going to take and say, yeah, you had Rashee Rice, you had Isaiah Pacheco. Just kidding. No, you don't. And that guy still is the number 1 seed in the AFC. I think Mahomes has done a lot with a little, relatively.
So presumably he can pass Tom Brady and thus become the GOAT himself.
Wow.
He's got time if he plays long enough, but there's a lot of variables, though. Let's be honest. There's more than just what he has right now. As long as the Chiefs continue to be good, he'll be good. But like you said, he's a circus freak. He's a Curry. He's he's like Steph Curry in the NFL. And the team is bad. He's still good.
Yeah. And, was it 2021 where the Warriors just randomly won a finals? It looked like they weren't actually good enough to do it.
Mm-hmm.
They got enough of the breaks that just having that great player gets you those opportunities. And you also have to remember, with Brady, Brady, between dynasties, went 10 years without winning a Super Bowl. So, even if he has a bit of a lull in the middle, he's still going to have enough time if he's able to string together a few later on in his career, even.
Well, Mahomes isn't the only quarterback with 16 postseason wins. Joe Montana has 16. He has 14 with the 49ers, and he had 2 with the Chiefs. John Elway, Peyton Manning, Steve Young, Terry Bradshaw, they all have 14 postseason wins. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm just saying, if he can keep it going, I don't know if he can, but if he can, he will be the new GOAT. Against the Spread says, apology accepted, Kyle G. Just know the Packers, Vikings, and Lions won the same amount of playoff games this year as the Bears did. True. True. I don't know who Kyle G's team is. If we were going to throw some shade on him. Kyle G, who's your teams? I can't remember now. You're one of the few people on the text line who's just there with their name. First name and last initial. Why did we allow that? Why haven't I called you on this before?
I don't know.
He's just been there so long. Yeah, like you can't change it now.
He's listed as a Hall of Fame texter. So I don't know.
Just kind of the way it is, I think.
Can't remember why I allowed that. No idea. I mean, I know you've been Kyle G for so long. There's no reason to change it. I'm just kind of wondering, how do we end up with that? It wouldn't even be something else if that's not actually his name. I don't know.
If his name was like Bill Williamson or something.
He's like, my name is Roberto. Oh, fair enough. I don't know. 888-368-1580. So interesting afternoon. Plenty of news breaking that Chiro, Sabathia, and Wagner all are getting in the Hall of Fame. Vikings head coach got his multi-year extension. The Patriots decided to bring that jerk McDaniels back to be offensive coordinator for Vrabel. The Suns are making trades and loading up with a bunch of first-round picks to either build a team or, more likely, try to get Jimmy Butler. I'd say it's been a pretty busy day.
Very busy sports day. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what's next. No idea what's next. Don't know what's going to happen. How fast do you now? Remember, we were talking earlier in the show. Now that all these picks have been shuffled about, Keon, well, this could happen now, right? Like pretty damn quick, or it's not going to still wait a couple of weeks.
Not if
these are moves that are being made with a deal in place, don't you think?
I mean, you'd have to think so. That Miami knows what they want. So Phoenix knows what Miami wants, and maybe they waited around trying to see if they could get a third team to help them out. But without that, all right, fine, we'll turn around and get the picks ourselves, and then be able to pair that with, Miami, and then Bradley Beal, who seems okay with being able to waive that no trade clause. You'd be going to a Miami team that's really, really good. They're well coached, and you're playing in a weaker Eastern Conference. Bradley Beal did want to play in Miami once upon a time. It could work out for everybody. And then, Jimmy, who doesn't want to be in Miami, would be here. You could make the argument that his game and skill set is different enough from what everybody else here does that it would be very effective and beneficial to this team.
Aiton's Army says, keep an eye out for potential 3. Yeah, we're already aware of that. We've been talking about it. But he says it could be a 3-team trade with Bucks, Suns, and Heat, possibly a 4-team trade with the Raptors getting involved too. Yeah, this is interesting. This is interesting. Any chance we could be doing this and go, we're keeping the picks?
Yeah, if it's not really working out and you go, okay, the players we want, maybe for whatever reason, Miami decides they don't want to move Jimmy Butler. They want to punish him and have him be unhappy for the rest of the season in Miami. I don't know why they would do that, but if they did that, then the Suns might have to consider something different. Just hang on to those picks. Why not?
Mm-hmm. That would be interesting too. That would be interesting. I don't know. Well, like I said, I think everything has already been figured out. We're just watching the wheels in motion on the way to where inevitably it's going to be. So where do you have the the betting odds between the Commandos and the Eagles? Did you say it was 6.5? Because it was 4.5 points Sunday night when they, but now they're saying it's moved to 6
It's
points.
moved to 6.5. Yeah.
6.5 now. You got to bet that, right?
Yeah, I will. Because I think it'll be close. I bet the last one.
$1.
Because I didn't think that the Commanders were going to win. I'm not gonna lie, I picked the Lions, but I bet the Commanders to cover. I think that I thought the game was going to be close, and
$10 on it, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Aiton's Army says Bucks want Bradley Beal, so it'll be contingent on him waiving the no trade clause. But it seems like if a championship is important to him, he would value playing with Giannis Antetokounmpo and Lillard. Suns should be able to get rid of Nurkic with one of those 3 picks they just got if he's not involved in the bigger trade. There's a lot of moving parts with this. So who's working this? Is this Jones or is this Ishbia? How are they doing this?
Ishbia is going to kind of give the broad, this is what I would like to have happen. And then Jones is the one that's actually doing the minor details of here's how we make this work. Here's how we get the picks to make this happen.
He's loading up NBA 2K and he's doing all these practice picks going, okay, this one could work.
Yeah. I mean, it's just, that's where,
that's how I see it in my head.
I don't know if he's loading up 2K because I mean, you're a general manager. I should hope.
Let me just see it in my head this way.
That you've got trade charts and like values, whatever. Yeah, I mean,
Ishbia says no, thank you. Here, let's try this. Fling, 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 fling. That's the noise that goes in my head when James Jones is sitting there working on it.
I was wondering about that.
Fling.
Yeah.
Devil Hawk says I've read this season's NBA script, and yes, the Suns made these trades to get Jimmy Butler, who will lead the Suns to the NBA Finals, where they'll lose to the Miami Heat. Ironic, isn't it? Devil Hawk, you're thinking the NFL. There's no script for the NBA. There's no. I mean, I am pretty sure that the draft picks are rigged. Randy's probably right about that.
Okay.
I'm starting to believe Randy. I'm saying there's a good chance.
I'm just saying, guys,
they won't let you see it. How would we know? How do we know if they don't let you watch it happen?
So that doesn't mean that you get to assume that it's something because you can't see what it's. That's all right.
Show us the picks. Show us the picks. Just saying. Aiton's Army says, the beatdown the Suns took from the Cavs yesterday may have actually moved this along. Don't forget, Matt Ishbia has a huge rivalry with Cavs owner Dan Gilbert, and he must not have taken the loss well. Nobody would take the loss well, rivalry or not. But yeah, if that's what it took, then I guess so. You're probably right. Ishbia comes walking in the room, slaps his folder down on the desk and says, I don't care what it takes. Get it done. Well, here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for On This Date in Big Georgia's sports history.
Back in the year 1979. Terry Bradshaw's 4 touchdown passes, including 2 to John Stallworth, led the Pittsburgh Steelers to a 35-31 victory over the Dallas Cowboys in Super Bowl 13 at the Orange Bowl in Miami. Pittsburgh, which had won titles against the Vikings in 75 and the Cowboys in 76, became the first team to win 3 Super Bowls. Back to me, Jeffrey.
So, Randy, I watch Terry Bradshaw a lot on Fox, his morning thing. He seems like a likable guy. What did people think of Terry Bradshaw back in the 70s? What was the opinion of Terry Bradshaw?
Well, it just depends on who you were a fan of. I mean, if you were a Steeler fan, you loved him, but everybody kind of didn't like the Steelers. They didn't like the Raiders. So every time the Steelers, they were kind of the villains. Yeah. Cause you had this, the steel curtain defense, and these guys were mean and rugged. And, you had guys out there that Stallworth and you had Terry Bradshaw that was just throwing the ball well. I mean, he threw a pretty ball, and, Lynn and Stallworth would go get that ball, and Franco would had that miraculous.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. Where he ran the ball in for a Steeler Super Bowl victory, and the immaculate reception, they called it. And I mean, it was the Steelers and the Raiders back in the day. They probably the most hated franchises in NFL. And then everybody, it was the beloved Cowboys, And every time the Cowboys met up with one of those teams, everybody was a Cowboy fan.
Well, it's fitting, I guess, that Terry Bradshaw and Howie Long are sitting there next to each other all these years later.
Yeah.
So
both of those teams, man, very blue collar teams. They had guys that would just eat you up, man, little by little on the football field.
I was too young to really have a full understanding of that.
Yeah.
I appreciate the background on my favorite football show Sunday mornings. So I guess we get to have them again this Sunday for the pregame. That's cool.
Yeah.
I guess they'll be doing the football pregame stuff too for the Super Bowl.
Oh man, there you go. That'll be fun. Heck yeah.
It's my wife's favorite one too.
Good.
Yeah. Anyway, no point. Sorry. I think I need some dinner. I think that melatonin is. I did better today. I did better today against the melatonin from last night.
Good.
But now I'm starting to space cadet, so I'm getting out of here. You
All
guys
right.
can go home too if you want.
I think it's time for all of us to go.
Oh, it's time. Oh,
yeah.
All right. You can do another hour too if you want.
No,
I think
not
we're all
today.
good. In that case, we'll see you guys tomorrow at 3. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Make extra money daily from